TikTok, time to rock. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone who's watching from all around the world. Now, AP said that last time our audio levels were uneven. So, let's get a quick sound check here. We sounded even? Go ahead, give us a check, AP. Give us a check.
Check. Okay.
How's that? Is everyone sounding all right?
Good. We always have to do that, right?
We got to do it. We got to do it. Man, if we get Vocab on here with us, he can freestyle. He can freestyle to our dope beat.
That'd be awesome. I can too. I'm a secret rapper. Nobody knows that, but I'm a secret rapper.
You got dope rhymes. Hey, we
Secret.
should do some raps about the holes in the narrative.
Oh, we should. I was thinking about that.
Hindu historian says hi.
Hi, Hindu historian. Hindu historian, hello. Hello to you.
Everyone says, yep, everyone's saying the sound is good. All right.
Capturing Christianity says, sounds terrible.
Hey, so guys, have you been following the fallout?
Which fallout?
I'm talking everyone out there. Everything.
Oh.
What hasn't been a total fallout or backlash for everyone who's coming at us right now?
Let's explain it.
Okay, so
what happened?
Yeah, we gotta capturing Christianity. Yeah, I just saw the comment that you read. I scrolled down until I found it.
Greetings to Capturing Christianity, by the way.
Capturing Christianity? Why have you not condemned David Wood? What? You had him on your program and actually asked him questions about his methodology? How dare you? You're finished! You're finished, boy!
You're finished, boy. Boy.
I wasn't even planning on doing that right now. I wasn't even planning on going to the but it's just yeah.
It just comes out, man.
All right, so I guess we have to go. What set all of this off, AP? What got all this started? Because everything's just been escalating.
Well, I guess it first started with the holes in the narrative.
Yeah.
Right. It was first with in an interview with Yasser Qadi, Mohammed Hijab came together and asked him certain questions about a topic, about some leaked emails and some conversations that Yasser Qadi had, and it was about whether Yasser Qadi can further elaborate what his problems with the preservation of the Quran are. And Yasser Qadi refused to speak publicly about it at first, but then when he was pushed further, he started talking about it, and it became a disaster. Because he basically revealed that when you get your Islamic education, you learn certain things about the preservation of the Quran, and it becomes all very confusing. But you just learn and to repeat what you have, what people give you during that education. But then when you go deeper into it, you start to understand that it doesn't really make sense, and that there are holes in the standard narrative.
Holes in the narrative.
Holes in the narrative.
Hey, that could be part of our beat, right?
Yeah.
Like check it out. Like you got you got holes in the narrative, right?
Someone will cut this out.
Oh, hey, hang on. Look. Hey, Hijab. Hey, Hijab, here's your Christmas gift. Capturing Christianity says, I condemn David Wood. There you go. You can stop whining that you can stop whining, Hijab, that not enough Christians are condemning me.
Capturing Christianity condemned David Wood. Wow.
It'll be on Hijab's Twitter feed tomorrow. Oh, finally the Christians are condemning him. Now I've got him.
You have to explain why you are condemning David Wood, though.
Oh, well. All right. Go ahead and continue. So we had the holes in the narrative. Now, so we had the holes in the narrative. Yasser Qadi admits Guys, I know this standard narrative that we've all been passing around, it doesn't really work. There are holes in the narrative, and actually it cannot stand up to scrutiny. When we try to present this narrative to Western academics, they destroy us, and we know they're right. Direct quote from him. We know they're right because they're quoting our sources to us. And so his entire thing was, it's basically as Muslims, he's saying, as Muslims, we don't push hard enough, and we just accept easy answers that make us feel good about our religion, and other people aren't like that, and they just say it's not true, and then we know they're right. And so that was in that interview. Hijab caught a quick backlash, and he chopped the end off. He chopped 30 minutes of the interview off to cover that up. Yasser Qadhi kept it up for a while. Then he deleted the entire interview. Well, first he took down comments. First he deleted comments because Muslims were in there saying, you're destroying my confidence in the Quran with this stuff. Then he took down the entire interview, and that should have been the end of it, but that wasn't. So how did that connect to anything else that's been going on?
Well, after he took that down, of course, people started speaking about it even more and putting it out there, and pointing out that Yasser Qadhi basically ended Islam, or that he basically destroyed Islam, and that Mohammed Hijab was the primary actor with it, who caused all of this, because he invited Yasser Qadhi and he made this whole interview possible, which was a disaster, which both of them have eventually deleted from their channels. I don't know what happened exactly after that, but I wasn't entirely there. But at some point, I said, "Hey, this is a perfect time, Mohammed Hijab. You asked me for a debate before. I would like to ask you. I would like to challenge you to a debate, because you have been very you have bragged a lot about how you would finish me and how I would I quote get close to, I don't know, crapping myself or something like that in front of him. So I thought, okay, well, come on, Mohammed Hijab, I challenge you to an online debate. Let's have an online debate on the question whether Islam is the truth. And then Mohammed Hijab was like, first he ignored it, and then I said, look, he's ignoring it because he's a coward, because that's what he does, right? He challenges people to debates, and when they reject or ignore, he calls them cowards. So I said, look, Mohammed Hijab is a coward. He obviously doesn't want to debate the topic of Islam itself with me. He always goes after other people or goes after other people's beliefs. Eventually, he came and said that he wouldn't debate me because he's too good for me. And then he said he would only debate me if he's allowed to personally insult me. And I said, okay, fine, granted. I would normally never do this, but granted, here, you can do it. You are allowed to personally insult me during the debate. Fine. Compromise. Let's do it. Let's do the online debate.
Good compromise.
He started finding different excuses, like, okay, I need to be able to film it, I need to do it here and there. Eventually, his own fans pressed him to do it. And eventually he said, okay, fine, I accept this. I accept the debate challenge. And as I announced it and said, wonderful, Mohammed Hijab and I are going to have a debate, he then suddenly said, I specified we are going to have an online debate. He then suddenly said that I was trying to squeeze in a different condition that wasn't specified before, which means that I am actually a coward because I don't want to debate him in person in London. Which means I'm a coward. And immediately he started telling me stuff like, I think you should commit suicide, and things like that. And the funny thing is, he even convinced his fans that he did indeed not know that this was an online debate. But afterwards, just a few days later, he publicly admitted that he knew it was an online debate, but that he basically tricked me and that I shouldn't have trusted him because he's my opponent, and that he would only debate me if he buys me a ticket and I fly to London and debate him in person. And I asked him why, and you know what he said when I asked him why? He said that I could even show that comment here, but he said that he needs to debate in front of an audience because showmanship, playing to his audience is a big part of his debate, and he doesn't want to disable himself for me. And that is actually one of the main reasons why I didn't want to have an in-person debate with him, but rather an online debate, because I know that that's what he does. he doesn't trust the information that he presents. He trusts the interaction with his gullible people that he presents.
And what's interesting is if you look at how Hijab wants to use an argument, Hijab has figured out, and you could kind of see this from like Ahmed Deedat and Zakir Naik, that they can be saying the stupidest things in the world, and the audience will just cheer itself into a frenzy where they're cheering for anything you say. So much so that Hijab could even agree with what I said and completely destroy this idea that Islam is pure monotheism, and they would still cheer as long as he sounded really confident, right? This is a man who stood there and said, Allah prays for Muhammad, not to Muhammad, and the crowd burst into cheers. Yay, our God praise. He could have said anything and they would have cheered. So he could have stood up there and goes, bibbidi bobbidi, and a bobbidi bobbidi, that's the refutation, and they would have cheered like mad, right? Yeah, Allahu Akbar. Oh, it's so brilliant, right? So basically Hijab he understands how to take advantage of his audience. He understands the crowd that he's working with, and he doesn't want to live without that crowd. One, he doesn't want to live without that crowd, and two, he does not want to engage without some level of deception being involved. I've not seen this guy engage with anyone where deception was not involved in the debate process. So
it is a major thing that he does. Deception is one of his major tactics, and I can show that. I'm still preparing a huge video in which I will show the whole story from the beginning to the end, and including our debate and what happened there, and how he basically destroyed himself through that debate too. But in our back and forth messaging, he basically told me that I shouldn't have trusted him. That's what he said to me. He said, "I am your opponent, or I'm your adversary. You shouldn't have trusted me. You should have sent me a contract with all the details." You know, that's what he basically told me. Anyway, so after that happened, he got very angry because I called him a coward before, and he started making tweets about how I should commit suicide. Then he deleted that. Then the following day, he claimed that was just to test my morals, because there's apparently nothing wrong according to my worldview with committing suicide. That same day, he got so outraged that he joined our live stream at night and gave us very strange sexual suggestions.
That was the infamous golden showers debacle.
He told us that we should give each other a golden shower, get on our knees, and be a gimp and all that stuff.
People are still when I mention this stuff in videos, I still get, what is that? What is that? And then I get, oh, I just looked it up. Oh, nasty, right? Like he's this expert in, you know, bondage and fetish porn, and he's using all this stuff. Which, I mean, just think about it. If Hijab had been a good Muslim hanging out in the mosque and spending his time reading his Quran, where's his head getting filled with this stuff? This is some sick stuff. Anyway.
I have to tell you something. I will just go into this briefly right now. I will go even further into this in my own work that I'm preparing about him. I'm taking my sweet time right now. And I'm only doing this because he resorted to personally attacking and harassing people directly, which is why I want to dig a little bit into his mind. But Mohammed Hijab projects a lot. He does this a lot. Like, he has a problem. It's very obvious, and he projects that in such an obvious way onto others, and you realize that he's actually talking about a problem that he himself has. For example, he told me that day that he thinks that I am a deeply disturbed person who deals with addictions and a lack of self-confidence and stuff like that. And I thought, that's very weird, because that's exactly what I thought about you. And
you don't know how true that is. I mean, we could talk about the personality type. I've seen people like Mohammed Hijab before. I've run into them in prison, and the most I can tell is they're psychologically. This is my interpretation. Psychologically, they're beta males, but they're big, strong dudes, and so people have been sort of treating them like they're the strong leader their entire lives. And so they have this kind of double life where, me strong, me strong. Whereas if you push on them just a little bit, they immediately start breaking, right?
Yeah.
And if you think about hijab, right? Someone who's really tough and confident in his abilities doesn't need to go around trying to trick people into getting an advantage. You don't need to do that, right? A real confident man walk in there and say, all right, what do you guys got? What do you got, right? Hijab, oh, what can I do? Hey, can you get him to agree to this? Can you get him to agree to all these rules that I will then break because I don't have to follow them? Oh, hey, guys, can you trick him into coming on, making the Apostate Prophet think it's just a discussion, and then I come in here, ha-ha! Can we do that, right? A really confident individual does not need to do that, right? Someone who's deeply insecure needs to do that. And also along those lines is, notice, he'll be talking trash. Oh, I will destroy you all. Oh, I'll take everyone on. And as soon as you, okay, let's go. It's, will you condemn him? Oh, Patreon, will you come to my rescue? YouTube, will you come to my, will anyone help me? Right? Notice, as soon as you call him on his aggressive nature, he immediately starts looking for someone to help him and rescue him, right? Who is that? That's someone who psychologically wants to have a protector, a stronger person who's helping him, and he's supposed to be second. He's supposed to be carrying out orders. That's how he is psychologically. But he's been treated, because he's 6'6" and a giant, he's been treated like he's in charge. He's the strong one. He's the man. And so he has this kind of double life, and it results in this kind of outward aggression, but inward insecurity, and you immediately start noticing that as soon as you start poking him. So I don't know if there's a name for people like this. You might call them like big boy betas or something like that. The who have the beta male psychology, but who are big and strong, and so everyone thinks they're these really tough guys. And so the result is he walks around, I'll fight you, and as soon as someone says, okay, let's go, oh no, who's gonna rescue me from this guy? Will you help me? Will you help me? No one's helping me. I don't know what to do now. Wow.
I think I have already shared what I think about him, what I think he has personality-wise, but I am pretty sure that he has that he's a narcissist in the realist sense, so that he's actually a narcissist, that he has a narcissistic personality disorder, which is something that is quite common actually in society, and that often doesn't need treatment, or that people often don't seek treatment for. But with him, it is so problematic. He has such deep insecurity issues, such deep inferiority issues, that it only takes very little effort to provoke him into doing extremely stupid things. And you just tell him something. With me, for example, it was this: like, he is trying to bully everybody, right? And he's trying to make everybody complain and trying to make everybody silent. But I just didn't react. I was just responding to him. Like, I was just quite calm at responding to him, to his mockery. I was mocking him back, bullying him back, basically. And the more I was doing that, the more he was getting angry, and he was eventually losing it and started saying incredibly dumb stuff to me that by the way is getting him into trouble right now. And the following day he said that he doesn't say those things because he's impulsive. He just says those things because he wants to test us. But just a few days later, he actually made a tweet in which he explained that that he's very wild-tempered and he can sometimes say impulsive things, and then he actually admitted that many of those things that he said to us were quite impulsive, and that he said them because he was provoked, because as a reaction, because he's so insecure, he feels so easily provoked by us asserting that he's actually a little idiot, that he immediately tries to go out there to prove the opposite. And does and says terrible things in the pursuit of proving that he's actually very strong.
Yeah, and notice what you pointed out. When he's just blurting things out because he's a hothead, right? Because he has a temperament where he can't stand any sort of challenge to him, right? Because he's deeply, deeply insecure, right? On the in his mind, he can't stand any sort of challenge. He just breaks apart. He's very, very fragile. So when you start poking him, he breaks down, he starts flipping out, and he loses his temper. But then he has to justify that because people are going, "Whoa, you're talking about golden showers and committing suicide? What's wrong with you?" And then, but here's the reason I must do that. Here's the reason I had to do that. There's no reason. You did it because you're an insecure hothead who has no self-control, right? But then if that's going to be used against him, hey, look at you, you're embarrassing us because you're a hothead, and now you're saying you got a reason for it, and blah, 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 and okay, now I'm an embarrassment. Okay, guys, I was just wrong. I was just wrong. And so, yeah, the dude definitely has some issues. And for me, the main interesting point is that he's popular, right? That's the issue. Because people say, why are you paying any attention to this guy? Why are you paying any attention to this guy at all? Because he's popular. If he were just some random dude on the street, we would not be paying attention to him. This is a guy who's trying to influence the next generation of Muslims, and this is a really, really, really weird dude, and he's revealing some interesting things about Islam.
I've seen Muslim apologists who are more mature than he is, but who are not less extreme, I would say, but who are more mature than he is and who wouldn't do the stupid things that he does.
Everyone's more mature than him, yeah.
I've seen Muslim apologists or Muslim scholars come out and implicitly talk about him and his actions, or implicitly talk about the current Dawah toxicity that is going on. And quite influential people too. And these people say these things, but they don't have any impact because those young and dumb people still attach themselves to Mohammed Hijab and still roll with him no matter what he does. And even if he says completely ridiculous and even wrong things, even if he says things that clearly go against Islam, that clearly go against the jurisprudence of Islam, the consensus of Islamic history regarding legal rulings, even if he contradicts them and thereby violates the fundamentalists' code that they are all supposed to stick by, they still don't shut him out because they like it. They like how he's loud and how he how he just insults people and attacks people, because that is their value, because they cannot convince the world. I mean, they have been trying it forever and they cannot convince anybody. Islam doesn't convince anybody. Muslim apologists can't convince anybody. Nobody out there listens to these Muslim apologists and thinks, oh yeah, this is so beautiful, that makes so much sense, that is also so rational, I will believe in that now. It doesn't convince anybody. So what they need to resort to is to insult people instead, to personally attack them instead, to humiliate them. And that's where Mohammed Hijab comes in. He fills that role. He becomes the leader of that toxic personality that they all desire, and that's why they support him no matter what he does.
Yeah, and that's something I noticed. We've pointed this out multiple times. That's something I noticed a long time ago. You have the really nice, peaceful Muslims like Nabil and his family were, and so on, and but you have this aggressive group as well, and they're looking for a different kind of champion, right? Like the nice, calm Muslims, they're looking for someone like Shabir Ali to represent them, and so on. But there are also massive numbers who are looking for me strong, me hijab, right? And so why didn't these Muslims have their popular representative? And it's because the organizations, the Muslim organizations didn't put these guys forward, right? Whereas now these guys can become popular because of the internet, right? People like Mohammed Hijab and Ali Dawah and these guys can become popular because of the internet. And then if they become popular enough, well, the organizations want to work with these guys because of their popularity and stuff. And so you're seeing the rise of actual avatars of Islam. And so pretty cool stuff. And these are really, really awesome times to be in. Cool. As far as the most recent, let's get up to date here. So we had the golden shower stuff. He started talking about that. Then he started flipping out on you and your wife, which is always interesting to me, because I mean, they call me the world's most infamous Islamophobe, and they clearly don't like me. And yet anytime they have a choice of going after me or you, they go after you. And so I think there is that added element of you being an ex-Muslim that enrages them even more, because yeah, they tended to go after you more. So Hijab posted a nasty picture. I mean, he posted a picture with a nasty comment of multiple wives. One of them was of my wife. He posted pictures of, who was it? Abdullah Samir, you.
Abdullah Samir, Abdullah Gandal. He mentioned Harris Sultan, who's not married because, so he got away. But yeah, Abdullah Gandal, Abdullah Samir, me, and you, basically, with our wives. He also said something about Tommy Robinson for some reason, but he then didn't pursue further on it because that guy is not in the spotlight anymore. But what actually happened is that he didn't attack my wife first. He actually first tried to attack me when his whole deal with me got even worse, and he failed to, and he appeared like a coward to the public. He attacked me, and then when others came out in my defense and pointed out how disgusting he is, including Abdullah Samir and Abdullah Gundal, he started going against them and going into their profiles and going against their wives. Since my wife, since I don't usually share very much photos or anything about my personal life, he first didn't get to me. When I saw that he's attacking them personally all the time, I jumped in and said, hey, you have been attacking these people's private lives for several days now. Are you okay? It seems like you have serious problems. And after I said that, he then started digging into my profile and my relationships, and then he found my wife, and then he started attacking her, directly making veiled rape threats and rape implications. In the middle of it, he also mentioned your wife, and that's how it went. It went very crazy. We talked about it. He exaggerated even more, then he made an incitement to targeted harassment. And eventually, it almost looked like it was going to stop because he posted about how he has been very wild recently and not everything that he did was good. But he didn't actually apologize, and he actually justified what he did. But then what happened is that these two guys, Adam Saleh and Slim, who are these I don't want to say it, but who are these popular Muslim YouTubers, they invited me one day because wait. I actually made a video directed at Adam Saleh once and said, hey, you're associating with the wrong people. You know, the people that you're associating with, like Ali Dawah and Mohammed Hijab and Dawah man, believe in things that you probably don't approve of, like killing people over their beliefs. Adam Saleh, they made a response video and said, hey, we all believe in the same things, implying that he's actually okay with that. Then Ali Dawah made a response video and explicitly said that he supports capital punishment for me and apostates like me who are little weaklings and cause corruption in society. And he said, and you know what? We will be watching, and we're proud of that. So he said, we will be watching. You know, he's not talking about a hypothetical situation. He's talking about the Islamic State that he would like to see in the future, or that he should see in his lifetime. And I invited myself on Adam Saleh's podcast, but they rejected me first because they even said explicitly that they don't want me to influence their viewers and point out the bad in Islam and manipulate them into thinking my ways. And that was so pathetic. I made that public on Twitter. Afterwards, they suddenly one day contacted me, said, hey, do you want to come on our podcast within 1 hour? And I was like, okay, sure, yeah.
So that was
get ready.
Slim, Adam. This is Mohammed Hijab. Huh? I have a plot. Allah's the best of plotters. Invite him on. But then, hey, I come out after 10 minutes. Ha ha! It's me, Mohammed Hijab. Me strong.
Funny. So they invited me. I joined them. I was thinking, why did these people invite me right now? Do they feel embarrassed, or do they have a plan? I thought they probably have a plan. They would probably bring up somebody. It will probably be Ali Dawah, and I will say, I'm not going to talk to you. Goodbye. Have a good day, is what I thought. I didn't think Mohammed Hijab would actually join the conversation and try to trick me into a conversation, because I thought Mohammed Hijab is above that. And I thought the Mohammed Hijab who says, I will not have an online debate with you, would not do that, because how does that make him look? But then I go there, and suddenly 9 minutes later, into the conversation, Mohammed Hijab appears. And I said, I'm not going to talk to Mohammed Hijab. I'm not going to talk to him. He has insulted my wife. He has threatened my family. He has supported these things. He's insulting other people's wives. He's insulting other people's. He's harassing people. I'm not going to talk to him. You know, he can have. I offered him a debate, and for 20 or 30 minutes, I kept saying, "Hey, if you want to have a debate with me, have a debate with me. I'm not going to talk to you." But eventually, I started talking to him. We talked about the death penalty. He went against Islamic rulings in that.
Yeah,
he just became very dirty.
I didn't. I haven't watched the exchange. I clicked on it. I saw Adam and Slim. They were basically asking you why you ripped up the Quran, but they kept interrupting.
Oh, that's
and I'd seen other people comment saying, why can't they let him finish an answer without interrupting? And then I sort of scrolled through to see where Mohammed Hijab came in, and then I was like, this is, you know, just looking at the comments. Wait a minute, so this is Hijab being Hijab. Always has to, you know, have some level of deception in there. But yeah, so as far as comments that I saw after that, I saw people were from Muslims saying this guy doesn't know what he's talking about on the issue of apostasy. And it was, I think it was from what's that guy's name? Daniel what is it? Is it Kikachu?
Daniel Hakikachu, yeah.
Hakikachu. Yeah, Daniel Hakikachu. I think someone asked him, said, "Hey, is this a correct view?" And he just said no. And so,
but yet he didn't openly talk about it. He would have normally talked about it if a different Muslim apologist or scholar said something that goes against Islamic rulings, but he didn't openly say anything about it except saying no when it was Mohammed Hijab that openly went against Islamic rulings. Because they don't want to have a disagreement with Mohammed Hijab, you know. But yeah, so the Quran ripping was there. They were basically trying to take advantage of the fact that I ripped the Quran apart, and they were trying to, you know, use that to make me initially look bad. To what's it called? To mud the puddle? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, muddy the water.
Yeah, muddy the water.
Yeah, you also have the poison the well.
Yeah, poison the well, whatever. They wanted to poison the well, yeah. They just took advantage of that situation. I ripped apart the Quran. They started with that to make me look very terrible to Muslims, not let me speak about why I did that, ever, and then move on and bring Mohammed Hijab in, not let me speak about things. I didn't even want to speak about things. I didn't even want to debate, so I just threw some questions at him, laughed. I still reiterated that he should have a debate with me, and he refused to have a debate with me. And I asked him, if you don't want to have a debate with me because I'm so low, then why are you here talking to me and plotting against me for so long? So that's all that happened. Afterwards, he went crazy. He wants to report us to Patreon.
Yeah. So that's, and by the way, that's actually funny, right? Like, you're finished. You're beneath me. Your careers have been destroyed by me, and yet they're all joining together. Patreon, can we get them banned? Like, why would
little idiots,
people whose careers are over and who are completely insignificant? I don't spend a lot of time focusing on them. I ignore them.
I have to say, somebody's asking if my online debate invitation to Mohammed Hijab is still on the table. I have to say something. Although he did very disgusting things, and he talked about my wife and my families and about myself, just to show what kind of a dirty individual he is and what kind of a coward he is and how weak he is, yes, it is still on the table. I still think Mohammed Hijab should take the opportunity, and if he's so strong and if he trusts his beliefs so much, actually sit down and have an online debate with me about whether Islam is the truth, as I offered it to him 2 months ago, and we have been fighting over it for so long, and he has accepted it and rejected it. Do it. Why is that so hard? Why do you have to reject that and then come together with your dumb friends and make a plot against me to trick me into this conversation where you don't even bring anything convincing?
Hey, AP, so the response will be, no, I will only face you if you come to the UK. And come face me face to face at Speaker's Corner. That's the only way. But then, like, probably a couple days from now, he'll call me and be like, okay, if you agree not to tell him, since I know that you will keep your word, David, then you must have me over to your house And when you're starting a random live stream with the Apostate Prophet, I will jump out. Ha ha! I'm ready for our debate. Ha ha! It's got to be something. It's got to be something like that, right?
It is so dumb. These people actually, when he came in, I reacted with anger. I was like, I'm not going to talk to Mohammed Hijab. You know, that's what I said. I am not going to talk to Mohammed Hijab because he insulted my wife. I made him an offer. He rejected it. That's what I did. Mm-hmm. You know what those people said, including he himself? They made it look like I was scared of him when he came into the conversation. Mm-hmm. Like I was afraid. I was terrified. I was scared of Mohammed Hijab because he came in. How does that make sense? I am here for 1 entire month telling him, you coward. Let us do it right now. Let's have an online debate. Let's have a third-party platform moderator.
He was the same way in a live stream with Vocab after the debate I had with him. I pointed out that because, I mean, probably between a quarter and a third of the Muslim debaters I've faced, between a quarter and a third of the Muslim debaters I've faced, have used deception, have demanded that we agree upon rules that they then broke, and then had clearly had no intention of following because they don't believe they have to follow any sort of rules. And then so you don't want to agree to rules with these people, and yet they call you coward if you don't. Oh, it's because you're scared. Oh. So I basically said that the debate that I was in prior to that was in Philadelphia, I believe, or somewhere close to it. And it was with Robert Spencer and me versus 2 Muslims. Same thing. Here's the list of these things that you have to agree to. They broke them all and then gave themselves just additional time because the moderator was a Muslim. And so they just broke all the rules, gave themselves extra time. And Robert wanted to get up and walk out or interrupt it. And I said, no, look, man, just stay calm, wait till it's over. Then, we can say it in a video afterwards. And then later on, I was like, no, why do I always let these guys get away with this stuff? Instead, we should have walked out. When people say, why'd you walk out? It's because you broke the rules. So anyway, so that was my thinking going into the hijab debate. And so I mentioned in a live stream, I said, once I realized he's breaking the rules, the moderator's not enforcing the rules, this was all a sham. It was all, hey, let's get David to agree to these rules because he will follow them no matter what we do, whereas we get to then violate them. I said, I wanted to walk off stage. I planned multiple times. I should just finish what I'm saying and then walk off, and then maybe if they run up and say, okay, we're going to honor our agreement now, then maybe I walk back, something like that. But of course, Hijab takes the clip of me saying, oh, I wanted to walk out. You see, it's because he's scared. It's like I have this disgusting behavior that everyone in the universe except me and my followers thinks is reprehensible. And when I behave like this, people just want to get away from me because I'm engaging in deception and just horrible, horrible behavior. And when you say, gosh, I do not want to be around you, you're a liar, you're a horrible, horrible person. Aha! It's because you fear the power of Islam. What an ideology, dude. What an ideology that produces this. I don't know anything else that produces it.
No, it's unique. It is unique. It is so dumb.
Here's a quick comment here. Michael Coyne. Michael Coyne says, how is it that David is chilled and he is or was a psychopath? I don't mean to be negative. And Mohammed Hijab is less controlled. Michael Coyne.
Different.
I don't think you know what psychopaths are. Psychopaths are very, very calm. You could do horrible things to a psychopath. He won't lash back out. He will start plotting, right? You might be thinking of sociopaths. Sociopaths tend to be hotheads, and that's the classic phrase. Hot-headed sociopath, cold-blooded psychopath. So psychopaths are notoriously unemotional. They can have, they can be greedy and they can be violent and things like that, but they do not react much if you try to provoke them. And if they do show a reaction, it's because they did a quick calculation on what is the best way to react, right? So in other words, if you ever see me flipping out, I can't believe you, that's because I thought to myself, this is the appropriate image to project to this person right now, right? Because there are situations where it's best to be as enraged as possible, right? If you were cornered by 5 guys and they were about to beat you to death, it's in your best interest to be just flip out and be as enraged and go into a berserker frenzy or something like that, right? So you can actually calculate that stuff. But Mohammed Hijab is an insecure, borderline narcissistic person with some serious issues. And that's why I told him, remember when we started talking about this, when he started talking about everyone's wives, we were on a live stream and I said, how many times did I tell him? Like 30? Dude, you do not want to go this route. You are not made for this. I said, you're not made for this. Your ideology is not made for this. You're easily provoked. This is not the route you want to go. And of course, yeah, we see once again, D Wood, right.
You know how these people are? That's what I noticed. Mohammed Hijab's fans, you know, before I had a conversation with him, you know, maybe you know the context. I'm going to talk about it. But when I asked Mohammed Hijab about the death penalty for apostasy, because his dumb friends denied it. They said, oh, Islam doesn't kill anything. Like Islam says if you kill one person, it's like you've killed all mankind. You know, that typical talk. But when I asked Mohammed Hijab about the ruling for apostates, the death penalty for apostates, I asked him, can you please clarify what the punishment for apostasy is? He then went ahead and said that he actually believes that while he understands that capital punishment for apostasy is a classical opinion, and that his friends, including Dawah, for example, advocate for that and approve of that and reiterate that, he personally thinks that ex-Muslims apostates should be relocated to a non-Muslim country instead. But don't think well of Mohammed Hijab. He doesn't actually say that very genuinely, and because he's so concerned about the lives of people, he only says that because he thinks at the current stage Islamic states would face a lot of backlash and power, overwhelming power from other nations, from other states if they implemented such a law. He only thinks at the current stage Islamic states should relocate apostates. So anyway. But Mohammed Hijab's average fan normally thinks that I should be executed and that apostates should be executed, that people who leave Islam and speak against Islam should be executed, and they don't see any problem with that. Now, but look, this is how they work. This is how they are. Look, this is Mohammed Hijab. This hand, my left hand, is Mohammed Hijab. This is the average Mohammed Hijab fan. Now, this average Mohammed Hijab fan says, apostates should be executed, apostates should be executed, apostates should be executed. This is Mohammed Hijab. He's also saying, apostates should be executed, apostates should be executed, apostates should be executed, apostates should be executed. And now this is how the change goes. I think apostates should be relocated, apostates should be relocated, apostates should be relocated, apostates should be relocated. This is how it goes. This is how these people go. Yeah. Immediately, without any question, the average follower, without any question, this guy was just saying, like 5 seconds ago, he was saying apostates should be executed, apostates should be relocated, apostates should be relocated, apostates should be relocated. That's how they are. That's how their mentality works. Yep. They switch immediately according to what their leader says, no matter if it's right or not.
Mm-hmm. Now I just pulled up your video, why I am ripping apart the Quran.
Oh yeah.
931,000 views. Only a week old. 931,000 views. Now this is what I find interesting. All of this was the result of Hijab. Hijab saying, all right, I'm going after everyone's wife now. Right? I'm not just going after you, I'm going after your wife. Notice everyone, and this is going to keep coming up over and over again. People like Hijab and Ali Dawah and Adnan Rashid, these kinds of guys, Farid, they're looking for a way to control you, right? The standard way is just praise and blame. If you don't do what we want, we will call you a bigot and an Islamophobe, and that's good enough to control most people. But if you do what we want, we will praise you and say, you see, this person is a good person. Yes, we like this person, right? So they control a lot of people this way. Then if that doesn't work, then it becomes, more just showering people with abuse. And if that doesn't work, then okay, that's not working. Let me go after. Let me start sending threats. Right? We'll kill you. We'll slaughter your family. And it's what they're doing is, hey, what will work? What will allow us to control this person's behavior, to enforce the same kinds of things that we would enforce in Muslim countries through laws and penalties, but we can't in the West. So we have to use other means of pressure and control. So they'll, start heaping threats on you and stuff like that. And if that doesn't work, now you have hijab. Now, well, I'll go after all your families and this and that. And if that doesn't work, well, let me go get other people to condemn you. William Lane Craig, will you condemn him? Hey, Christians, will you condemn him? He starts going that route. That doesn't work. Oh, let me get them canceled from Patreon. Oh, everyone, flag their account. Oh, right? Let's try 50 different ways. Let's try 50 different ways of controlling this person's behavior to figure out what will actually work. Well, that's the standard method, and they just simply do not understand that there are people who are not going to be controlled by any of those methods, and they can't figure out what to do. So they just start flipping out and embarrassing themselves, trying to control people who do not fall for those stupid methods that lots of other people, let's face it, do fall for. So with the ripping apart the Quran, this was right in the heat of Mohammed Hijab posting attacks on everyone's wives, trying to figure out how to control us, and me sitting there thinking, warning him repeatedly, dude, you don't want to do this. And what I'm saying is, you're not made for this. In other words, I know how to control your behavior. You don't know how to control mine. You can try 50,000 different ways. You're not going to control our behavior, but I know exactly how to control your behavior. So what did I do? Took a little bite out of Surat Al-Fatiha. Little bite out of Surat Al-Fatiha, chewed it up, spit it out. Everyone loses their minds. Hijab stopped posting about the wives because now his attention has been completely redirected, and he's been flipping out ever since. Well, what happened was everyone's flipping out about that, and they're freaking out. And oh, you didn't do it. You didn't do it, AP. But you almost fell, I think you fell out of your chair laughing when I did it, right?
Yeah.
And so people start flipping out on you, and this is around the same time that Ali Dawah had already posted his video saying, yeah, if we ever get our way, you're dead, dude. In our ideal world, you are dead. We are coming to kill you. That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
And so you were really, really annoyed, saying,
I was mad at the hypocrisy.
Yeah, it's wait, you guys flip out over a piece of paper, and this guy's saying he's going to kill me, and you don't care. You just don't care at all. And it's really not just Muslims. It's everyone in general. You would expect there to be massive outrage.
Yeah.
How dare this person? If a Christian started saying, yes, we're going to go kill people, it would be international news.
Man,
right?
If a Christian refuses to bake a cake, people lose their mind.
Yeah, they lose their mind. Oh, you won't bake a cake? Oh, it's the end of the world. We'll take you to court. And here you've got Ali Dawah. Yes, we're gonna kill you. We're gonna kill you for reals. And it's fine with everyone, but shame on you for laughing when I chewed up and spit out a passage of the Quran. So
how awful of me.
Yeah, so none of this was planned, but you start tearing up the Quran, and then I kind of joined in, and now your video has 931,000 views on YouTube, and lots of people are flipping out, and they don't understand. Actually, wow, it went up 1,000 in the past couple of minutes, so now it's 932,500. But
you should pull up the like-dislike ratio of the video.
Yeah, 14,000 likes, 235,000 dislikes. 14,000 likes, 235,000 dislikes. But notice, I mean, that just proves the point, especially if you look through the comments and see, you could make multiple videos just out of how many threats you're getting. But it really illustrates the point that, that this is much worse in the eyes of many people in this world. This is much worse than if someone slit your throat. And that should be important to people to be aware of, right? People should be looking at this going, whoa, what is making people think that doing this, crumbling up this page of a book is far, far worse than slicing this man's head off? Why what is this ideology doing to people that it's making them think that way? Because if it's not just one random person who thinks that way. Look at the numbers there. It's a very, very large group of people who think that way. And if there's a large group of people who think that it's far worse to, do something to a book than to massacre someone, we might want to look into this problem.
You know what the funny thing is? 90%, 95% of the people who have actually come to the video, come on the video and have watched it and have disliked it, have not understood what the video is even about. All they see is there is somebody here who is tearing apart the Quran, and he's talking and he's laughing. That's all they see. They leave a dislike. They go and spread it to others. The others come and look and see somebody tearing up the Quran. They leave a dislike, say, how dare you do this? May Allah punish you, and they leave. And it just goes like that. In fact, when you look at the statistics, I see the statistics of every video, and I look at the statistics right now. On my Why I'm Ripping Apart the Quran video, the average view duration of the video is 1 minute and 28 seconds. The video is 6.5 minutes long. My average view duration on my average video is 5 minutes. So the average video is watched 5 minutes, but this video is on average watched only 1 minute and 20 seconds, meaning that, as I said, most of the people who come and watch this video don't actually watch the video. They have no idea what it is about. They have no idea what I'm saying while I'm ripping apart the Quran. They have no idea why I'm ripping apart the Quran. They have no idea about anything at all. All they see is that there is some guy who dares to rip apart the Quran, and we must do what we as Muslims must do and protest this and send insults and threats in response to this. In fact, I made a follow-up video just a few days later called Sorry for Ripping Up the Quran. And that was basically a joke video in which I, again, showed at the beginning how these people justify the killing of me and other apostates, and how I, as a response, rip up the Quran and say, is this worse than telling people that they should be, executed for their beliefs? And I say basically in that video, I am deeply sorry that people are seriously offended by me ripping apart the Quran, and that they didn't get the message. Apparently, next time I need to be clearer about my message, and I will be. That's what I'm saying. But the people come and think that I'm genuinely apologizing for ripping up the Quran, and they dislike it and say, your apology is not accepted. Do you think you can get away with an apology? So these people have no idea what they're watching. They have no idea what this is about. They just react with such anger to me ripping up a book, pieces of paper, whereas everybody is quiet, including, and I'm saying this again, I don't care what anybody thinks in response, not only Muslims, everybody is completely quiet about the fact that known Muslim apologists in the West come out and say, you little weakling, you deserve to be executed, and you know what, we will be watching and we are proud of that. No one cares about that, but people care about this. People care about this here.
Yeah. Oh, you still got pieces laying around too? That's funny.
I didn't clean it up.
I didn't clean it up either. They're all over the place. We can make it rain here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Hey, speaking of making it rain, Mohammed Hijab made it rain, and I don't mean in a sick golden shower sort of way that he likes to talk about. Money-wise. Money-wise. Guys, I'm just saying, because people have been bringing up the Patreon situation. That's is that what I titled this video? Oh yeah, they're trying to get us banned. Yeah. So, and this is really. I told people I really don't need any increase in funds, but this always cracked me up when someone would try to get someone canceled, and then a bunch of people would rally around that person and support them even more and stuff like that. And so it was just a big slap in the face of the people who were trying to get people demonetized and so on. But Mohammed Hijab posted a video. That video has been taken down by YouTube. It said that it violated its terms on harassment and bullying. Now, I actually don't know why that is.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. And Hijab, I'm not going to agree with you on much in life. But you can say right now, I'm totally fine with Hijab having that video up. I even posted clips on my own channel. So, in other words, I have a bit broader acceptance of freedom of speech than whoever took that video down. So, Hijab, you can use this. I'm the one, you know, well, I guess AP too, but I don't care if that video stays up. So you can use that in your appeal to YouTube. You can say, I don't care. Unless it was harassment against Patreon, because he sent all his followers to mass complain to Patreon, which can be annoying if you're a company, especially if it's someone complaining over something totally stupid. So anyway, guys, Mohammed Hijab posted a video saying, we're gonna all go to Patreon. We're gonna make Patreon accounts, and we're gonna go to their pages and complain that this is hate speech, and we're gonna show them the video where they're eating the Quran and where they're ripping up the Quran, and we're gonna get them banned. And so I posted a video last night pointing out that people did that. I mean, pointing out that that Hijab did that, and that people were going and complaining and filing all these false flags. And pretty hilarious situation. My number of patrons shot up pretty quick. What happened with you, AP?
Yeah. After he published that video, I received some new people came and became Patreon supporters. But especially after you published that video, where you showed how he's demanding people to report us to get us banned from Patreon. I think over 100 new people came to became new Patreon supporters and started supporting me and said, "Hey, I am just here because of Mohammed Hijab and because of David Wood, and I will support you from now on. Thank you so much." And
yeah, and I'm looking at mine right now, and I'm up. I believe you're up over 100 and some, and I'm up about 100 and looks like over 140. I mean, you're talking 2 years worth of work to get an additional 140 subscribers. And Hijab, man, he's just funding the counter jihad. He's funding all of us. I feel like he deserves a percentage of this. By the way, you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? Because I don't really need the extra. And I mean, there's always stuff I can use it for, and to upgrade and to expand and things like that. But for this first month, I think I'm going to take all the extra money, and I'm going to go to all the channels that Hijab really doesn't like and just load them up with super chats and put like, this donation brought to you courtesy of Mohammed Hijab, and just say, hey, this is all thanks to Hijab. Can you imagine that? I mean, can you imagine if you'd gone after him and tried to get him canceled and tried to get him demonetized, and then it's just, you know, he ends up getting way more support? That's got to hurt. That's got to suck, because they really hate us. To be clear, Muslims of the world, I do not hate you. I don't hate even the really nasty ones. Right? Why? I used to be a very nasty, violent person. And so it's just not my business to say, this person is pure evil and, you know, deserves nothing but contempt, right? There's hope for these people. As long as they're alive, there's hope for these people. But they really hate us. They really hate us. They would gladly, at least many of them would gladly execute us if they only had an opportunity, right? So they really hate us. So again, it's all part of a desire to control behavior, right? So me and AP in a Muslim society would not be allowed to say these things. So these guys, Mohammed Hijab and Farid, they do not believe that we should be allowed to say these things because it goes against Islam. It never enters it just doesn't enter their mind. You're not in an Islamic country. These guys are not bound by the commands and teachings of a 7th century, you know, Arabian caravan robber. They don't have to obey him, right? But nope, this is from Allah. They must obey it, right? But they can't enforce it through the law, so they try and enforce it in other ways. What's the goal? Stop us from criticizing Islam. You've got Muhammad, who orders us to be violently subjugated, orders us to be executed, allows for our wives to be taken as sex slaves, our kids to be enslaved, allows all this stuff. And then their message is, but shut up about it. Don't say a word. Just let us spread. Do not speak against this ideology that calls for your annihilation. Do not say a word about it. Our response, of course, is no, but they look for ways of controlling us. to get the same result as you'd have in Pakistan. Namely, people just aren't criticizing Islam. They're looking for the same result, but they have to use other means. Well, you know, insults didn't work, abuse didn't work, threats didn't work, nothing is working. Oh, let me go after the Patreons. Oops, I just got them way more support.
Use your mind a little bit. Or use your mind. Are you dumb, man? Seriously, use your mind a little bit. If I wanted to cause harm, if I wanted to cause damage to someone's cause so much, and I have to be very honest, I'm definitely not as obsessed with other people's work and with other people's path as Mohammed Hijab is with ours at the moment. If I wanted to do that, I wouldn't go there and point out something that person has and call my own audience to take that down, especially not something like Patreon. I wouldn't say, hey, here's his Patreon account. Here, I will show you his Patreon account. Please, everybody, go and take this down. Please report this. I wouldn't do that. I would think a little bit further. I would think a few steps further and would think, hey, if I do this, this will just end up in people on the other side becoming much more agitated by me and becoming much more defensive and supportive of my opponent and supporting him. So I shouldn't be doing that. That is probably a mistake. That's what I would think. And this guy is so dumb.
He's really dumb.
Deep in his anger, in his rage, that he cannot use his mind a few steps ahead and does something like this.
George Lee just said, hi, David, invite Bob the Builder. Yes, I already have. Me and Bob the Builder have been corresponding. We're just trying to figure out, because of the time zone difference, when is a good time to have a discussion. But yes, absolutely, it's tactic-wise. I mean, he basically has two tactics. Well, he has three, right? So, bully, deceive, and whine. Right? Those are his three tactics: bully, deceive, and whine. So he's going to try and deceive you if he can. He's going to try and bully you if he can. If he can't, then he's going to whine and complain and throw a tantrum. So his tactical toolbox is rather limited, especially when we know the dude cannot stand criticism. He can't. He can't take it. He flips out. His ego is too fragile. And so that's why, hey, Hijab, just don't get into this. But then, gosh, if I had normal human feelings, I would feel bad for this guy, because how he must feel right now, right? This guy must be feeling right now, gosh, I just went after these dudes. I tried everything else. I whined. I tried to get other people to condemn them. Everything we've done, I tried to bully them. I went after their wives. Nothing worked. And now I'm trying to defund them, and I've managed to massively increase their resources. I've managed to massively increase their financial resources so that they can do more, so that they can put out more content, so that they can hire people, right?
I really want to send a postcard to Mohammed Hijab. I want to say, hey, thank you very much for your support. This is my gift to you. Thank you for making our work much bigger. Seriously, I'm beginning to think that Mohammed Hijab is. I don't want to reveal this to the public. I don't want to expose him. It wouldn't be good. But I'm beginning to think that Mohammed Hijab has actually left Islam. He actually doesn't believe in Islam anymore. He's now an ex-Muslim, and he just wants to abuse the situation as much as possible and help the enemies of Islam. He wants to help me and you and others in becoming more significant, and he wants to damage Islam as much as possible at the moment before he announces publicly that he has left Islam, that he doesn't believe in it anymore, because everything that he has done for the last 2 months is so ridiculously absurd and so harmful to Islam and just so good for us.
What's hilarious is how these guys are going along with it. I mean, I would think like you. One, I wouldn't try to get someone demonetized and so on. It goes back to what I was talking about earlier with like insecurity, right? If I want to go after someone, I'm coming right at them. I'm going right at them, right? If I want to go after you, I just boom, let's do this, right? Hijab, oh, how can I get them behind the scenes? Oh, how can I sneak up on them? How can I trick them, right? So one, I wouldn't do it, but two, even if I were the sort of person who would do it, I'm thinking like you. Well, maybe this isn't going to work. Maybe this will draw more attention to this scenario. And what's just amazing is this entire situation, the Quran eating, the Quran ripping, all of that stuff is because of hijab. I don't want to do that stuff.
Yeah.
I liked the equilibrium that we had, that we make videos and they try to defend their prophet, right? That's good. I want to keep doing that. I think they've realized, well, that's not working in the long run.
To be very honest, as for me, I was working on several videos, and they were all about. I was really going into topics like the Day of Judgment, the contrast between Islamic scripture and Christian scripture. Stuff like that. I was going into these things. I was going into the Ten Commandments. I even have a list here of things that I was going to do over the next few weeks, and they were all tasks that I have to, sit down, research stuff, do this again. And I was really trying to find the motivation to do that stuff. And I felt like nothing is really going on right now. But then Mohammed Hijab came. Mohammed Hijab came and started attacking me so brutally. Mm-hmm. And he completely gave me so much motivation to do more stuff and to go very hard, to produce brutal stuff. I'm currently just not publishing videos because my channel is being bombed by Indonesian Muslims. Mm-hmm. By the way, it is morning right now in Indonesia. They just got up and they will start.
There goes your views.
They will start bombing my Quran ripping video again, and my Quran ripping video will probably reach like 1.5 million or something today. I don't know, but or tomorrow, not today. But he brought this back to me. He gave me a good reason to have energy again and to have devotion and motivation again, and it's amazing. By the way, I want to say thank you to everybody who has. I'm mocking, I'm being sarcastic, but seriously, thank you so much to everybody who has been supportive, who has decided to support us on Patreon after what Mohammed Hijab did. Thanks for all the support among all the trash that I'm currently getting from Indonesia and from all over the world because of my Quran ripping video. But seriously, thank you so much, everybody, for your support and everything.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the exact number was, but I believe someone could correct. Well, no, you can't correct me now because the video's been taken down. I think I do have a copy of it. Not terribly important. I think I had 116. I mean 1,016 patrons when Hijab posted that video. I think that's the screenshot he used at the time of his video. So 116. I mean 1,016. I believe it's now 1,161. So I'm up 145 patrons since Hijab tried to get us demonetized. Man, and again, what's absolutely amazing is that people go along with these stupid plans because they're rallying around this guy. Let's look at it. Let's look at a couple of examples here. Let me see if I can pull these up here.
What an idiot!
All right, so this is Farid. Farid Responds. By the way, he's the other one who's primarily responsible. There are three important figures in the holes in the narrative.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I just made a noise. Sorry.
So Farid is the one who leaked Yasser Qadhi's emails, saying that he's having doubts about, I guess, the standard narrative. He's having a crisis of faith or something like that. But that was all in secret. But Farid, I must expose him. Ha, 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 right? So then Hijab tries to get Yasser Qadhi to clarify this because he thinks Yasser Qadhi's just going to go, no, my good man, the Quran's been perfectly preserved. I was talking about something else. And instead, epic dumpster fire of a train wreck of an interview destroys the confidence of tons and tons of Muslims. So this is Farid, and so this is why these guys are obsessed with bringing us down. They know we're the ones who will use this material to wreck Islam. So this is Farid sending a message to Patreon support. 2 individuals that thrive off donations through your site engage in hate crimes. This is actually hilarious. Crime. Look, he says, hate crimes like eating and tearing the Quran. Does this not go against your community guidelines? Answer, Farid, no.
It doesn't.
That's not a hate crime, you giant infant.
maybe where you live, Farid. Maybe that's a hate crime where you live, and I don't want to live there. No one wants to live there, to be very honest. But
Farid, that's not a hate crime. So, long answer, short answer, no. Long answer, no. Not a hate crime. But so,
you know what I find so funny? Farid is a guy, I haven't ever talked about him very much. I don't usually talk about him. But Farid is a guy who started his channel just because he wanted to refute all my work. That was his primary purpose why he started his channel. And he just started making videos about me. And he made like 50 videos about me in response to 50-something videos that I made. And according to him, those videos completely destroyed me and refuted every major thing that I said about Islam, refuted all my major videos, all my major topics. And what he did afterwards, when he was done with me, when he announced that he was done with me, is he said, from now on, Apostate Prophet is completely destroyed. We are done with him. Brothers, everybody, we should also, from now on, be done with him. He's destroyed. He can never come back from this. He has been finished. And this and that, and then watch him crumble now. But then, see, nothing happened. I'm still going on. I'm still here. My channel is still growing. People are still watching my videos. No one cares about this guy called Farid, which is why people come here to post the links to his videos. But my average viewer goes there and thinks, what kind of stupidity is this?
Yeah.
What kind of dumb refutation is this?
Yeah.
And it doesn't work. He claims that we are destroyed. He even blocks me to pretend that I don't exist on Twitter. I am blocked by Farid, so I cannot actually view his tweets. But then he obviously sees that all of this didn't work, so he goes into that plan to get us banned from Patreon, to end us in a way, because his intellectual ways don't convince anybody. And I have to say, I don't talk about him. The issue is that I have a problem with many of these Muslim apologists, and I would genuinely say, when we talk about Ali Dawah, for example, I don't even want to mention his name, but I did. When we talk about him, or Mohammed Hijab, or several others, I would say that many of these are terrible people. You know, AD is a horrible, horrible human being. Mohammed Hijab has very serious problems and is a horrible human being. Certain others are very problematic. But when it comes to that guy, this Farid guy, I just don't think he's a terrible person. You know, I don't think he's a horrible human being. The problem with this person is just that he's so stupid that I cannot take this guy seriously. Yeah. And I feel like this guy is not a bad guy. He's not an awful guy. He's just very dumb. Yeah. And I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how to respond to somebody, because it's not really his fault entirely, you know.
Yeah. And with people like Farid, because everyone's like, I get this all the time. So and so that you've never heard of made a video responding to you. Are you going to refute him? It's like, what? No, right? So it's all of these guys, especially, you know, with like Farid Responds. Give these guys a couple years. Give them some time to grow in popularity, right? Let them get popular. Then do something, right? Because if you spend your time going after every random guy who comes along, well, guess what? The person doesn't have a tremendous following. What did you do? What did you accomplish? And so, yeah, let these guys. In fact, with Hijab and Ali Dawah, I was not gonna be responding to these guys for probably another 2 years. I wanted them to grow in popularity. When you see a Mohammed Hijab and an Ali Dawah, and you know their personality type, and you know that they can't stand criticism, and you know that you can control their behavior and cause a massive meltdown like that, those are the people you want to become popular, right? Yeah. And popular representatives, the popular face of your opposing ideology, so that once they become the most popular things there are, then you go after them, and then they, you know, do a lot of damage. Unfortunately for Hijab, he just decided to accelerate things, and so I kind of had to modify my plans. But yeah, once he crossed a certain line, now if he will eventually back off, because guys, on this desecration of the Quran, until Mohammed Hijab takes down his tweets about attacking women, I'm at about level 3 right now on a scale of 1 to 10 of how far I'm going to go and how far I'm willing to go. I'm at about a 3. So level 1 would be, you know, just standard refutation. Level 2, Level 2 would be mockery. Level 3 is where I'm actually taking a bite out of the Quran. I'm going to stay at level 3 because I would consider level 3, you know, my origami lesson. I think that it's about the same level. Then I'm going to go to, you know, 4 and 5, which that's going to be the, you know, eating the Quran with bacon and washing it down with some beer, right? That's there you're adding some additional things. And after that, you know, once you're going level 5, 6 and beyond, that's where you're getting other people involved. That's where you're getting other people involved. And guys, I do not want to go this route. I want to stay at levels 1 and 2. Standard refutation and sometimes mockery with it. Those are the levels I want to be at. If you are crossing lines and you guys are cheering him, again, if Hijab were some random person, I would not... if Hijab were some random person, I would not think, oh, we need to escalate in response to this person. When he's very popular and everyone's supporting him and everyone's cheering him on, then you gotta nip this stuff in the bud. So as long as he has these tweets up attacking women, then I'm going to continue escalating. But notice I'm going really slowly. I'm escalating very slowly. I could dial it up to 10 right now. I could, for the rest of my YouTube career, just keep Qurans soaking in jars of urine behind me as I record these videos. I could do all of that, but I don't want to. So we're going to keep escalating slowly until we reach a threshold that Hijab just can't bear, and that's when he'll back down. And guess what? Then we're done. And guess what? I'm going to go back to leaving him alone because I want this guy to continue increasing in popularity until he's ripe.
I have to be very honest. I'm kind of sick of talking to these people and going back and forth with these people. I don't ever want to actually get into personal feuds. I'm not that guy. If you meet me in person, I don't ever want to have a fight with you. Mm-hmm. But in this situation, since I'm doing these online polemics, of course it happens. And because Mohammed Hijab is such a terrible person, I'm also, to be very honest, I'm really getting a kick out of mocking him back, out of insulting him.
It is fun, isn't it?
I'm really getting a kick out of it because I know that he's a terrible person. I see what he does to everybody, what he tries to do to me. So when I do it back to him and I see how it works, it really gives me joy. I get pleasure out of it. I have to. Mm-hmm. I'm very honest about this. I'm really getting pleasure out of letting all of this out on him, for example.
And I agree with something you said earlier. You were saying that, you know, you had all these projects planned and so on. You got this kind of burst of energy, because I've been telling people that for a long time. Namely that, I mean, I get a burst of energy in response to aggression, in response, especially if someone pulls a dirty stunt. And it's interesting. It's like a burst of physical energy, right? I'll become instantly more focused, but I'll also get a burst of like creative energy. Like I'll come up with ideas that I never thought of before. And so it's this is what's hilarious. I mean, it's insanely hilarious. It's so easy to figure out these guys, personality-wise, and how to figure out what to do to get them to behave in a certain way. They try everything to figure us out. When, guys, it's pretty easy to figure me out too, right? If you want me to leave you alone, leave me alone, right? Don't provoke, but don't keep coming at me. Don't keep coming at me with threats and attacks on my family. Don't ever come with that, right? Because as much as it's ingrained into your mind, this is how you control people, it does not work with everyone. Guys, you have to say, oh, here's what would work with this person. Here's what would work with that person. Here's what would work with this person. If a sort of person that you're dealing with responds to aggression with creative energy in refuting you, you don't be aggressive towards that person, right? Yeah, so yeah. It's a situation where if people leave me alone, I would sit back and spend a lot of my time reading, occasionally making videos based on stuff I'm interested in, which would be Islam sometimes, mainly because I think someone needs to do it. If it's just what I'm interested in, I would not be making videos on Islam. So I would actually most likely be pursuing many other interests if these guys were not some of the nastiest people in the world. The people like Hijab, the people like Ali Dawah, basically the people who send me insults and abuse all day long. If you have the calm, peaceful Muslims who aren't trying to start a problem with anyone, aren't trying to go out and control people. If everyone was just like that, I'd be focusing on something else. But here's what's amazing. The Hijabs and Ali Dawahs of the world, Mohammed Hijabs and Ali Dawahs, those guys who are trying to shut us down are the ones who fuel us, right? Yeah. They're the sources of energy for what we do. And it's just, here's what's amazing. Their attacks are a source of like internal mental and physical energy to go after their ideology, but now they've also expanded into becoming a source of financial energy for us, right? That now they're funding us. And it's, guys, do you ever get to a point where you say, maybe we should not be following these guys tactic-wise. Maybe we should not be following Hijab and Ali Dawah and stuff like that tactic-wise. But it seems like they just can't get around it, right? He's the one thumping his chest. Me. So we have to follow him.
I have to tell you, I will soon be done with Mohammed Hijab. I would have normally been
I
done
will too.
with.
I will too once he breaks.
I would have been done with a Muslim apologist long ago, but with him it takes quite a while, and I will soon be done with him. I'm telling you that. But I will be done once I am done publishing what I'm working on right now, which I have announced long ago, and I wanted to publish it 2 weeks ago. I wanted to publish it a week ago again, but he keeps adding on it so much stuff, and he made it so much worse. I'm preparing something, and when I'm done with it, I will give it a befitting name, and when I'm done with it, I will tell you he will beg to debate me. And I don't know if that will still be open then, but I will tell you, I'm telling you, he will lose his mind. He will become aggressive. He will again start going crazy. I don't know who will fire him next from his job. But after I publish that, I will most likely be done with him, because I really want to focus on so much more stuff that I want to talk about. More Islamic theology. There's a lot of stuff that I need to do, but I'm preparing that one thing, and it will be fun for him and for everybody else.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure it will be. Let's check out a couple more of the people whose brilliant strategy is to get us defunded. And who do we have now? Oh, it's Ali Dawah. Salam and hi, I am Ali Dawah, aka your friendly Orthodox Muslim.
Friendly.
Apostates must die!
Friendly neighborhood.
Apostates must die. Join the movement below. Yeah, you want to join Ali Dawah's movement of executing apostates. Wow. So he has his pinned tweet here. Oh, look, here we go. Here's Ali Dawah. Don't stop reporting. The only reason they attack Islam is because the guy makes $10,000 a month. Lol. There's me thinking why he is so dedicated. It all makes sense. Let's see how dedicated he'll be after no Patreon. I don't mean to break your heart, Ali Dawah, but I was doing this when I was absolutely dirt poor, significantly below the poverty line. There was a time we had to actually send my oldest 2 sons to live with their grandparents because I could not afford to feed them, because I was going after your prophet. Some of the dopest videos I've ever made. It just goes. These people are the worst. The people like Ali Dawah and Mohammed Hijab, they are the worst in the world at actually reading different personality types. Ali Dawah, if I were penniless, if I had absolutely nothing, I would still be coming after your prophet. I don't know why you have such a problem here.
I have to tell you something, Ali Dawah. I really want to tell you something. Most genuinely, this is the most honest that I will ever be to you, dear Ali Dawah, and I hope you hear this and see this. you may be caring about all of this because you had a pathetic life, as you admitted, and you think that Islam and hanging out with these tough people gives your pathetic life a little bit more meaning and makes you feel better than others, and it makes you feel special. You may be focusing on all of this, and this might be about that to you, about fixing your little pathetic life into a different pathetic life where you feel a little bit stronger and belittle everybody else and try to lecture and school everybody else and advocate for the killing of everybody else. Mm-hmm. To you, it might be about that. To me, it is not. To me, it actually matters. To me, the world matters. To me, it matters that I was indoctrinated by this ideology, and I know and hear of so many other people who go through the same thing. And I really don't want this culture, the culture that I grew up in, and other cultures to be absorbed and poisoned by what is going on in this world, by the culture that gives your pathetic life, as I said, more meaning in a very pathetic and vile way. I care about that, and I do this work because I actually care about that, not because I feel so pathetic.
Yeah,
and I really hope you get the message.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and add to that. I mean, first, we have to point out the obvious. If he's saying we're just doing this for money, well, guys, getting us a bunch of extra money is only encouraging us, right? So you guys have been getting us tons of extra money since yesterday. So, wow. Now we're even more encouraged to keep doing exactly what we've been doing because you're making us rich, Ali Dawah and Mohammed Hijab. But, dude, let me break this down to you. I'll probably say this clearly in a video. Maybe I'm very soon going to be making a response to Mufti Abu Layth because I actually like him and think he's pretty cool. So when he objected, I'm inclined to give him a good response. But I mean, one of the things
I think he doesn't know what he's doing. But go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I just mean he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
But one of the things I'll probably explain, if you want to know, Ali Dawah, how this works, I grew up and did a lot of messed up things in my life. In fact, let me show you a really dumb comment here. Hassam said, I would love to see David Wood being atheist. One, Hassam, you should learn to spell atheist if you're going around trying to promote people being one. But two, no. If you're an atheist, Hassam, you should not want me to be an atheist because I am, by nature, a pretty violent person, right? So, in other words, if I were some other atheist, and there are lots of atheists like this, I've had lots of atheists say this to me, David, I think Christianity is silly, but I'm glad you're a Christian. I'm glad you're a Christian because whatever Christianity is doing, it's making you not hurt people, right? So, by nature, I was a pretty violent dude, and I ended up doing some really, really horrible things, Ali Dawah, in my life. Did some really, really nasty, horrible things. And the thing is, I believe I can be, forgiven for these things by other people. I believe I'm forgiven by God. But at the same time, you recognize you've done a lot of damage in this world, and you can't go back in time and fix it. So what can you do? What can you do? Well, if I was a horrible, violent person, did horrible things in my life, I can't go back and undo them, but I know what sort of person I am now. What can I do to sort of make things right with the world? As far as I'm concerned, I can fling myself up against the world's most violent ideology until it breaks or until it kills me. That's my reasoning, Ali Dawah. And if you think taking away money from me is going to change that bit of reasoning, keep in mind, most of the people who do what we do believe we're signing our death warrants when we start this, right? We understand, at the very least, we understand there's a good chance that someone will eventually come and slaughter us, right? So if you think people who say, I mean, Nabil was asked, we were in an interview years ago, and at the end of the interview, we were asked, where do you think you'll be 10 years from now? And Nabil said, I think we'll be dead. I think jihadis will have killed us by then, right? So The idea that people who believe that we're signing up, we're signing our death warrants because we realize that someone needs to confront your ideology, because we look at what's happens in Pakistan and Nigeria and all these horrible places, because we look at ISIS and Al-Shabaab and Al-Qaeda. We look at these organizations and we see people like you, Ali Dawah. When we take control, we're going to kill you. Yes, we're going to kill you. We see what you do. We see the impact your ideology has on women. And we say someone has to stand against this no matter what, even if it gets us killed. That's our mentality. And what's your what's your interpretation? It's just doing it for money. Ha ha! I take away their money. Oops, actually I'll get them way more money. Oh no, what do I do now? You guys just completely lack the ability to read people. Right? Get your mind around that. Again, Ali Dawah, the closest, I mean, as far as stopping the desecration of the Quran, I've told you, saw my head off, or have Hijab take down his tweets. That's it, and we're done. It's done. These 50 different strategies and tactics you come up with will never in a million years work, and you guys can't figure that out. And I mean, I can literally sit here explaining, this is the kind of person I am. This is what would work with me. And you're like, oh, well, if that's what would work with you, let me try everything else in the entire world except that. And it's just amazing how dumb you guys are. Wow.
I'm proud of that. Can you say that? Yeah.
I'm proud of that. We're proud of that. It sucks because I haven't really heard him. If I have to go and listen to some of his. I mean, I listened to that clip, but I can't recall exactly what he sounds like. I'll have to listen to a bunch of his clips, and then I can get a better accent down. Or a better parody. That's so awesome. Let's see what we have here as far as Ali Dawah.
I don't think that you will be a bad person if you become an atheist. In fact, I know for sure that after we have our debate, you will become an atheist. And don't laugh; it's obvious. But yeah, I don't think you will be a bad person if you're an atheist.
I might. Hey, check it out. So this is his post from yesterday. Ali Dawah. How to report Patreon funding of David Wood and the Apostate Prophet. Let's see when funding stop. If they were doing it for the money or cause they really saw Islam as a threat, lol. No, why on earth would we see Islam as a threat when you're sitting there openly posting videos saying that the Apostate Prophet's going to be executed? I mean, gosh, Apostate Prophet, why would you take someone saying, yes, we're going to execute you as any kind of threat? Hey, but check this out. Check this out.
People are seriously asking me a question. I go on there and people are asking me this question. They say, so I get that you have left Islam and I get that ex-Muslims leave Islam. But why is it that ex-Muslims have to still call themselves ex-Muslims? Why is it that they still have to talk about Islam after they have left Islam? Well, what do you think? Why? What do you think? What do you think? Seriously, what do you think? We know that there are people like this and other people who seriously want to spread Islam to the world and want to turn the world into an Islamic world. And in their ideal Islamic world, in their ideal Islamic system, an Islamic state must be established. That is a requirement according to their worldview. And in that Islamic state, somebody who leaves Islam, so me, needs to be punished by being killed, by being sentenced to death, by being executed. So, of course, I speak against Islam. Are you dumb? Of course, as I exist and as I see that these people are going out there and trying to spread their religion through propaganda, a religion that, if they succeed, will execute me, of course, I will be outraged by that and know that and oppose that. Now, to be very honest, very frank with you, I don't ever believe that these people will succeed. I don't believe that Islam will succeed. I don't believe that Islam will get big. I believe that Islam will completely fail. I believe even without me or you, and even without people like us, Islam is a complete failure, and it will fail. Their plans won't work. Their wet dreams of having an
You're on a Christian channel, sir. A Christian channel.
Their
Shame on you,
where
sir!
They execute people in Britain will never work. It will fail. It will never work. But still, as long as I exist and as long as I care about this world and about myself and other people like me, and as I have a little bit of empathy, I will, of course, do my job, do my part, and speak against this. I mean, how could it be any clearer? Seriously. Man.
So let's go ahead and click on... So look, how to report Patreon funding of David Wood and the Apostate Prophet. Let's see when funding stopped, if they were doing it for the money or cause they really saw Islam as a threat, lol. So here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Here we have the epic instructions, and it's how to report Patreon funding of David Wood. And let's go ahead and have it. Up. The video has been removed for violating YouTube's terms of service. Uh-oh. Wow. And again, I don't even know. Again, I mean, it could be because harassing Patreon or something like that, but still, it's weird to say, hey, telling people to mass flag something is harassment.
I believe that is mentioned in YouTube's community guidelines.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, if it is, then that's,
to incite,
that's on them.
Incite people to, take action against a particular person or something like that. I think that is mentioned in their community guidelines, and it's forbidden.
Well, then this would be a community guidelines strike, I'm presuming, and then he got us over 100 new patrons each, and I haven't even noticed. I can make more videos. Ali Dawah tries to get us banned from Patreon. Adnan Rashid tries to get us banned from Patreon. Can point out.
I don't even know who Adnan Rashid is. I think he's a joke, like, right?
No, I think he's like I think he's like some kind of mentor to them. No, I know Adnan Rashid. I've known Adnan Rashid for years. Yeah.
That explains everything. I mean, that guy had a little bit of communication with me for like 5 minutes, and he was a complete a failure. I don't know. He left a comment where he was saying, "Oh, you're scared. Of course, we will not debate you. No one will debate you, and none of our Muslim apologists will debate you, and this and that. You should be ashamed of yourself, and this and this. Don't delete my comment now." And then he makes a comment after that and says, "Why did you delete my original comment? You should. No one will debate you. This and this." And I go through his comments, and he left 3 comments. In the 2 last comments, he claims that I deleted his previous comments, but his comments are all still there. I see them, and people even respond to them. And then he goes on Twitter and says, "I just left this comment on Apostate Prophet's YouTube channel, and he deleted them because he doesn't want people to see the truth." But I see a screenshot of all his 3 comments still there, and I just responded to him. I said, "Hey, I don't even know who the hell you are, and I'm not asking you for a debate." So, a very strange individual.
Wow. So let's see what Adnan has here. So at the top of Adnan's page, he has this. So Adnan retweeted Farid. So an important question to Patreon support: 2 individuals that thrive off donations through your site engage in hate crimes. That cracks me up. Hate crimes like eating and tearing the Quran. That's a hate crime.
You mean hate crimes like saying people should be executed for no longer believing in a certain religion?
Yeah,
Is that a hate crime?
I mean, just think about the Quran and the Hadith. Fight those who do not believe in Allah. Muhammad said, "I've been commanded to fight people until they say there's no God but Allah." Right? I mean, ordering people to fight and subjugate over their beliefs, that's all fine. What about beating your wife? Oh, that's fine. Everything is fine. What about tearing the Quran? That's a hate crime. They should be banned. Adnan Rashid says, "This is the least anyone who believes in Allah and his messenger can do." Well, hey, Adnan, if this is the least you can do, then if someone wanted to do more, what would that be? Saw our heads off, I'm guessing. So Adnan says, "This is the least anyone who believes in Allah and his messenger can do. Please share far and wide and cut the funding of these evil Islamophobes." It just cracks me up that these are the guys using Islamophobes. Right? Yes, we're going to kill you. We're going to execute you. Yes, we'll destroy you. We're going to grow and destroy you. Islam, fastest growing religion. They will establish Sharia and then blasphemy laws. And if you don't want to be governed by the teachings of an illiterate 7th century caravan robber who boned a little girl. If you don't want to be covered by that, well, we're going to call you evil Islamophobes.
It is so funny. The average progressive person in America, the average liberal person in America, who, I'm not saying liberals all use that language, they don't, but the average person in America who would call us Islamophobes, for example, or who would call people Islamophobes, would call us Islamophobes because they would think that we falsely claim that Islam is violent and that Islam does things like killing apostates and all these weirdly perverted sexual things, these acts of intolerance. They would call us Islamophobes because of that. But then you have these people, these Dawah people from the UK, who call us Islamophobes for those things that the liberals think we think of them, which is why they think we're Islamophobes. This is so ridiculously dumb. Seriously.
It is just absolutely insane, right? I mean, you're right. The people, I mean, even organizations like CARE and ISNA and stuff like that, Muslim organizations in the West who've been calling people Islamophobes, their message has always been they're Islamophobes because Islam doesn't teach any of these things. It doesn't teach that, you know, apostates should be killed. That's all a lie. That's all a myth. It doesn't teach that it's okay to have sex with a 9-year-old girl. It doesn't teach that. And then you've got these guys. Of course it teaches that. Of course we're going to chop your head off. Of course. But you're Islamophobes. It's like, guys, you don't understand how this works, right? You don't understand the process of using this label. Yeah. Wow, wow, wow.
Wow, wow, wow.
All right, should we
yeah.
Let's go through the super chats here.
We should.
I'm going to go through the super chats.
If you believe in his messenger.
There have been a lot of super chats, possibly.
That's such ominous language. Like, if you believe in Allah and his messenger. If you believe in his messenger. That sounds unreal. It's like a weird dystopian thing, like TV show where they depict a cult in the future.
The least you could do, if you won't saw their heads off, is whine to Patreon about them being Islamophobes. I mean, the entire situation, ladies and gentlemen, is this not hilarious, right? I mean, just think about this, right? Apostate Prophet, we're going to kill you when we get the chance. We're going to kill you. And Mohammed Hijab, I'm going after your wives. Golden showers. Oh, your wives. Oh, everyone whores. Oh, whores. Everyone whores. Yeah. And we take a Quran and do something to it for 6 seconds, and then it's, oh, Patreon, will you help us? Oh, will someone help us? Will you all condemn him? It's like guys, if you can't handle this, then don't stop starting this stuff. And it's the same thing over and over again. We'll start it with you. We'll try to intimidate you. We'll threaten you. Oh wait, you're doing something back. Oh, let's go whine and complain like a bunch of little girls.
It's like this, you know. This is just for demonstration right now. I just want to reenact this. What is happening? So can we do this act quickly, David? Okay. You are one of them, and you go and yell your terrible things at me. You're finished, Apostate Prophet. As soon as we get power over you, we will chop your head off, and we will parade your head through the streets so that everyone else takes notice and sees what we do to people like you. We're coming for you. We're coming for you. You people in the chat, can you please report him? Look what he did to me! Look what he did! Loser. Look what he did! Loser. You pathetic.
How is it? Hey, we're pretty good when we just improv these little scenarios. Oh wow.
That hurt.
Guys, Hijab, I'm gonna give. It's funny because I keep giving them these awesome insights, and I'm dead serious about them. Yeah, Mohammed Hijab, Ali Dawah, you guys. Here's the thing. You should have some experience of this by you guys constantly looking for someone's weakness. How can we control this person? How can we do this? How can we, how can we get through to the, how can we make this person do what we want? And you go around looking, and you're looking for some sort of weakness. Does abuse work? Do threats work? Does demonetization work? And you keep doing this, trying to figure out what will work. Well, if you can't find anything that works, you guys just run out of ideas and you don't know what to do, right? Well, guess what? People can do that with you as well. They can learn what really makes you flip out. Your best bet in those situations when someone's doing the same to you, what works with these guys? What can I do to annoy these guys? Your best bet is to not let anyone know what makes you flip out. But you guys just let it all hang out there, right? We take it. We take a piece of the Quran and we go, huh? I wonder if this will work. It's the end of the world. We don't know what to do now. Guess what? Everyone who's watching goes, huh? If one of these guys ever messes with me, I know exactly what to do now, guys. You get a good poker face. It should be embarrassing. I don't know. Oh gosh, I don't know what to do, man. I'm sick. I'm sick of trying to explain anything to them. All right, let's check out some of these super chats here. Oh, whoops. Let's see.
That was very realistic, by the way.
Oh, that. You need to cut that. You need to make that a video because that one's nice and shareable. But that's nice and shareable. But these guys, if you notice, they always like cut a part out and ignore and destroy the context. So they'll take just me screaming and they'll act like, Mohammed Hijab just refuted me, and I'm I can't take it. So they'll do it like that, right? Oh, I have to agree though. This is fun. It's more fun than just standard putting videos together, giving refutations and stuff. Yeah. All right. Super chats. MixCatcom didn't leave a comment, but thanks for the super chat. Thomas Garcia said, if a religion thinks by allowing homosexuality men will stop having sex with women, there will be no more kids, their religion will stop growing and die. Is this a slippery slope logical fallacy? Yeah, that would be a terrible that's a terrible argument. If you want to argue against something, then yes, have a better argument than that.
The conclusion doesn't follow at all. Yeah. It is very ridiculous. It's entirely ridiculous.
Yeah. Sean Cobb says, please read the book on what Earth is about to happen. Please read the book What on Earth is About to Happen, for heaven's sake. Not on my reading list. Haven't heard of that book before. What on Earth is About to Happen? David Panther, super sticker. 6011 says, love your vids. Keep up the good work. Yashiro Cuff says, good luck, my brothers. We are with you. Vegan Love says, I do not know where Adam Saleh is from, but wherever that place is, it has a lot of lead in its drinking water.
Stop it.
Not very nice. David Panther 20 with the super sticker. Rodney Smith said, D, love you, bro. Idea for you. Need to raise up and equip apologists similar to CIA, but reproducing yourself, Sam, etc. Systematic training, perhaps in levels beginner to expert. By the way, Islamic ads on your vids. I know, and it's cool that Islamic ads run on my videos because that means the algorithm understands that Muslims are watching my videos, which is cool. So, yes, we're going to be putting out lots of more systematic courses in the near future. Vegan Love says, what is wrong with these people? I just watched their posted videos that they are proud of. Wow, that was some lowbrow stuff. Disengage with them. Yeah, the problem, Vegan Love, and this is a problem that and AP can share his thoughts on this one too, as far as why respond to people like this, because AP, I've gotten tons of comments from Christians saying, why you dealing with these guys? Just stick with the arguments, right? And guys, you need to understand, these are people who are influencing lots of people, right? It is a mistake to think, oh, Just focus on arguments and having the best arguments. If you're focused on having the best arguments and someone near you focuses on having the biggest mob that can kill you, guess who wins that argument? You guys understand? You understand the problem? You kind of have to deal with people who are influencing massive numbers of people. Any thoughts on that? Or
well, I obviously think, especially after yesterday's move, where he went out and actually asked people to report us and to take us down.
Will you help me? You too.
I seriously ask myself, why do we take this person seriously? Why do we actually take this person seriously? This is
what a baby.
Incredibly pathetic. It's so embarrassingly stupid. But then, as you said, this guy is currently a trending Muslim apologist. He's at the forefront of this, and people actually think that he's doing a good job. People think he's great. So I really genuinely wanted to have a debate with this guy just to make a demonstration. I don't even know the outcome. I'm not going to stay here and say, hey, I will totally destroy him. I will totally crush him. No, I don't know the outcome. I have no idea about the outcome. And I said that before. Maybe he will make a better performance than me. Maybe he's better than me. I don't know. I cannot know that. I'm not going to brag about a possible outcome in the future. I'm not that person. I just want to come together and have a debate with this currently most popular Muslim apologist to demonstrate what his side is and what my side is in a completely fair environment, in a debate where we both actually have to listen to each other, and he has to defend that certain religion that he brags so much about and insults people for. And the thing is, since I really wanted the debate to happen so much, and it went into completely the wrong direction, and he started becoming very dirty, I am now basically just going in this back and forth with him to demonstrate to people how awful their best representatives are. And I want to press them into seriously looking at the difference between us and them. And I still wanted to come down to comparing my worldview and their worldview, or comparing our arguments and their arguments. Unfortunately, they are not as honest as I am or as you are about these things. They rather want to take excerpts or trick us into conversations and then not answer our questions and just make joke videos in response. But I seriously just want to use this opportunity to sit there and to speak with the most popular person that they have. I don't choose that guy. I speak with him because he is so popular, and I want to see the outcome of that myself,
Vegan Love said, holler at your boy. KG Chaplin said, give them more Jesus. Yep, that is what they need. Angelique News said, while you've been speaking, Dr. David Wood, you've got 3 more patrons. Yeah, it just keeps going up. Hijab is an endless source of funding. For Islamophobes.
Here are some recent comments on my just a few comments on my Quran ripping video, by the way. I swear I will kill you without touching you. If you still do like that, if you break, you will know the consequences. I've no idea. This is very strange language. If I find you, I will kill you. Be a dumb whatever, full of insults. Half English, comes from Indonesia. That's very nice. You can go on my Quran ripping video and can find a lot of good stuff in the comment section right now.
Daniel Harp is saying, I got a new entry in Wikipedia about eating the Quran. That's cool. I've never actually read my Wikipedia page, but looks like I am now in there for eating the Quran. That's funny. Kathy M. Quillen left a super sticker. Michael Jarek said, where's the new Boom Boom Room featuring Ali Dawah and Mr. Hijab? That would be funny. That would be funny if we get some people to play both of them, and maybe Muhammad's ordering them to protect the Quran and they refuse it because of their own pride and arrogance, which is basically what they're actually doing right now. Jonathan Maciel said, I don't want to read that one. That could be construed as hate speech, and we know they're coming after us for hate speech now. Joanish M. said, Sir, AP off topic, but would you mind considering to study Bible with open mind, without any preconceived opinion? Beg you this in the name of Jesus. So, AP, what do you think?
I actually did decide to do that before, as I was leaving Islam, after I left Islam, and also long after that, actually quite recently, I did intend to do that. I didn't ever read it through the way that I read through the Quran. I read through the Quran from beginning to end several times and still continuously read it through. With the Bible, I usually just look up references. I read some chapters fully. I basically know basic knowledge about the different parts of it, but I have never actually sat down and made the same research that I did with the Quran on it. I would do that.
It is a bit different in that there's actually a beginning and end to the Bible. Whereas the Quran's just like, it's like, hey, let's toss a bunch of stories in a blender and see what pops out, and oh, there you go. That's the order.
It's definitely easier to follow the narrative of the Bible because, yeah, as you said, it actually has a beginning and an end. You know what you're reading whichever book you read and whichever chapter you open. So it actually flows. Yeah, but I've never had the time to go through all of it at once.
If the Quran is the eternal speech of Allah, it's a little confused in his thinking.
Allah is a very strange speaker, if that's his eternal speech.
Michael Jarek said, thanks, David Wood and AP. Jordan Emick said, love your work.
Allah should take communication lessons.
Alicia Henderson says, in honor of the awesome mods who are working so hard tonight and every night. Yeah, that's yep, we have cool mods. Michael Coyne and Joseph Bastian with the super stickers. Kevin Kondraki didn't leave a comment, but thanks for the super chat. Jared Ricker says, Jared Ricker said, accept this super chat on behalf of Mohammed Hijab. Yes, thank you for the super chat on behalf of Mohammed Hijab. Thank you, Mohammed Hijab, for inspiring that man, for inspiring Jared Ricker to give us a super chat. Nicodemus says, you've peed off a lot of Muslims. Use wisdom and pray. God won't let them near you, I pray. Psalm 91. So, yeah, Nicodemus, I have to say, I understand the risks when I'm doing what I do, but yeah, someone's got to do it. Joanesh said, Sir AP, I request you to be well prepared anytime for hijab kind of people and kindly refute the recent video. Massive respect from India.
Thank you so much. Very honestly, I didn't. I feel like after the conversation was done, I felt like I should have never gone on with the conversation because that's all they wanted from me. When Mohammed Hijab appeared, I should have just said, hey, nope, we're not doing this. I'm still waiting for a debate. We are supposed to have a debate together where we can both, in a fair, proper environment, share our ideas and listen to each other, because obviously this doesn't work because you keep speaking over me all the time, and whatever I say, you give a dumb response and say, oh, look, you have been refuted. So maybe that would have been wiser to do, but to be very honest, I was very mad at the way that he treated people, and that people seriously had no issue with that, and that this guy was suddenly sitting there in front of me after telling me for an entire month that he refuses to have an online debate with me. I was mad, so I said thanks to him and yelled at him. But yeah, no, I will take Mohammed Hijab's advice, who himself told me that I shouldn't trust him. Very crazy.
Yeah, the hijab strategy. Check it out. I will never face you. I will never do it. Will never. Okay, you're here for an interview. Ha ha! Ha ha!
Where'd you come from?
Be strong. Sophia Agape said, nice job, Mohammed Hijab, with gratitude for your efforts in destroying Islam 2020. Seriously, who's done more damage to Islam this year than Mohammed Hijab?
Seriously, we should make a breakdown of everything that Mohammed Hijab did every month.
and he's just getting, the year's not over, right? He's still going. He's still, let me try this, let me try that. And he's like, got the dumbest plans ever, and he's still trying to come up with plans instead of actually just taking down the tweets. What is said Mohammed Hijab is in the chat. Say hi, guys. I think that was I saw someone named Mohammed Hijab earlier, but that's fake. If it doesn't have the check mark by it, yeah, Mohammed Hijab gets the check marks. We don't.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Yeah.
We can't, because we criticize Islam, and you can't get a check mark. You can't get you don't get the silver play button. You don't get any of that stuff.
Ridiculous.
Rakesh left a super sticker. Jesus is the only way, says God loves Muslims. Repent, Jesus is Lord. Dragon Fist 900 says, long ago Islam and the West existed in harmony, then everything changed when hijab attacked. Notice that's true to an extent, right? I keep mentioning we had a kind of equilibrium, right? And it's understood. Guys, your prophet calls for our violent subjugation. Obviously, we get to respond. And guess what? When we respond to that and we bring up criticisms, if you don't like something we say, you can refute it. You can mock it. You can make fun of us. You can do all that stuff. Guess what? We're all cool with that. And then you have this super genius, brilliant tactician, Mohammed Hijab. I know. Golden showers. Oh, we'll just talk about golden showers. Oh, it's not working. Them now calling me Mohammed Golden Showers Hijab. Me no like this. Oh, me attack the wives. Oh, everyone whore, right? Oh no, now them eat Quran. Oh, me no know what to do. Oh, right, he doesn't know. And so yeah, he threw off the harmony that we had developed. And question is, guys, you want to go back to the harmony? Because I'd love to get back to just making videos. But if you want to go this route, it is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Christy Robinson with super sticker. Moheb Abdullah said, love the content. Dragon Fist 900 says, Nabil versus Hijab debate. Who wins? That depends. If Hijab's debate tricks that he uses were known ahead of time, then Nabil wouldn't fall for them, and Nabil would crush him. If Nabil was one of the first people to debate him, and Hijab was using the stunts, he could actually throw someone off of that. It does work, right? You start breaking rules and stuff like that. It does work. It's just, it's short-term gain, long-term loss, because, you can't keep using that tactic because people don't trust you anymore, and they're not going to make agreements with you, and they view you as a garbage person. It's like Zakir Naik. Zakir Naik's debate tricks wouldn't work anymore, right? That's why he debated like 2 or 3 people 20 years ago and then never faced anyone again. He knows any Christian debater would mop the floor now that they know what he does.
If you need to carefully craft fallacies and tricks in order to come out superior from a debate, then what does that say about you?
Yeah.
If as opposed to going into a debate and simply plainly speaking your ideas and presenting your ideas and letting them race against the ideas of your opponents, instead of that, you go into it carefully preparing so many fallacies and tricks and boasting and bragging and playing to the audience and yelling and insulting people, then that just means that you don't really trust your own your actual ideas. You trust your other skills, your deceptions, your terrible personality, but you don't trust your ideas, and that kind of explains a lot about him and his followers.
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to go through all these super chats. It looks like it will take a while because there were a bunch of them. So we'll go through a few more and then we'll wrap it up. Hayden Tang says, I wasn't going to join Dizzle's Patreon for a while, but now I'm going to be a patron for both David and AP. Thank you, Hayden. And
thank you so much.
I'll be posting a video update on that in another couple days on. Nice video on how Hijab's plot turned out. Again, it's always possible that it'll work. It's always possible that Patreon will shut us down. They've done that to channels in the past. But if they don't, it's just hilarious. It's a hilarious fail that people think we're just doing this for money. Give us a bunch of extra money. Dragon Fist 900 says, hey, David, praying for you and your family, buddy. Thank you. Yes. all the prayers. Thank you. Jason Lippert says this
Why
donation.
why not me?
Because you're a dirty atheist. Didn't you say that? You said in a comment once, I'm an immoral atheist. As an immoral atheist.
Yeah, immoral atheist. Yeah.
Jason Lippert says, this donation brought to you by Mohammed Hijab. Oh, and yeah, he also left one. I also got one from Ali Dawah. So people donating in the name of Mohammed Hijab and in Ali Dawah. Rob Sanders said, love it. Keep it up, guys. Love it. Stefan says, Slim, do you know how to pronounce his name? Al-Bahir?
Al-Bahir, yeah.
Slim Al-Bahir have 600,000 subs, looking like a complete joke and can barely talk. And somebody cries, I'm unable to find girl or boyfriend. It's your fault.
That guy, I want to keep that joke for my video, but I don't know how much you have seen of that conversation between me and Mohammed Hijab, but Adam Saleh and Slim, they were just there. They were like the entire time. They were just, you know, and whatever Mohammed Hijab says, they're laughing and agreeing with him. And whenever I say something, and Mohammed Hijab is like, oh, and they go like, oh, and they have no clue what we're even talking about. Like they probably didn't understand like 90%, 95% of what we're talking about. But that was like, to me, the representation of Mohammed Hijab's followers. Just this guy sitting there completely clueless, nothing in his head, but it's just you know, agreeing and disagreeing.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, what's interesting is that group, they're bad people, right? I've met lots of Muslims in my life who were really, really awesome, nice, generous, kind people. The ones like Adam Saleh and his buddy Slim. I mean, Adam Saleh. I mean, he's the guy who made this video claiming that he was harassed for being a Muslim. Him and a friend were harassed simply for being dressed as Muslims by the NYPD. CARE got involved and demanded an investigation. Then it turns out it was totally fake. And then they said, oh, this is just a reenactment to illustrate what happens to us. It's like, well, you guys walk around with cameras all the time. You never record the actual harassment, so you have to reenact it, which you posted as a true story until it got exposed as fake. So then you have, you know, when they were yelling Om Talele Om on the Delta plane, and then they get kicked off because they're scaring everyone by jumping up, yelling stuff and disrupting everything. So they get kicked off, and then they say it's just because we're speaking Arabic and so on. They weren't even speaking Arabic, right? These are terrible, terrible people. And
these guys actually want to ruin other people's lives in order to get some clicks on YouTube. This is
And so, I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that these guys are drawn to the people like Mohammed Hijab and Ali Dawah, because they're horrible people as well. And what's amazing is just how popular this can become. If I did something like that, if I pulled a stunt like that, if I set up, let's say I set up Muslims, right? I pretended that I'm the victim of an attack by Muslims just to make Muslims look bad, and then I get exposed as a liar. Guys, I'd be done. The Apostate Prophet would be done. We'd be over. Because atheists and Christians would no longer trust us. For some reason, these guys can do it over and over and over and over, accusing people, just making things up, accusing everyone of hating them because they're Muslim and so on, and trying to destroy people's lives, and it's no problem in their community. It's just totally fine. Lying, trying to ruin people's, it's just perfectly fine for them. And they could be every bit as popular after they do something like that. It's amazing stuff, man. But don't rip the Quran, because that would be bad. Here's a comment from Nim Grace. Nim Grace said, "Is Hijab aware that if his derogatory tweets are taken down, you will stop abusing his novel?" Yes, he's clearly watched a number of the videos I posted, and I've told him that over and over and over again. He doesn't want to because, I mean, think about the situation he's in, right? And he got himself in this situation. But if he doesn't take the tweets down, I keep blasting away and desecrating the Quran. If he does take them down, then guess what? He just backed down from a Christian who, I mean, they're obsessed with controlling other people. If I say, now you do this, I order you to do this, and then he does it, well, guess what? me no strong, David strong. Oh, me no do that. Oh. So he's stuck in this position where he's supposed to take down.
I love the persona.
He's actually ordered, Nim Grace, he's ordered in the Quran, Surah 6, verse 108. It's a little confusing if you read it, but if you read the historical background, the Muslims had been insulting the pagans, and the pagans got sick of it, and finally they said, if you don't stop insulting our gods and goddesses, we're going to insult Allah. And Allah's response is, whoa, if they're going to insult you, if they're going to insult your God, stop with the insults. Right? So here we are with Mohammed Hijab. He's, me go after your wives. And I say, okay, well, we're actually going to start desecrating your book. According to the Quran, he's supposed to say, whoa, sorry, take it back. What do you want me to do? You want me to take it down? Okay, I'm taking the tweets down. I'm taking the insults down. He's supposed to do that. He's refusing because, me strong. So that's why it's a conflict between his religion and his pride. His pride wants him to do one thing. His religion demands that he does something else. And so people are actually seeing, people are actually seeing his arrogance outweighs his religion. And we'll read one more comment here. Legendary Ostrich says, what are your thoughts on Dr. James White? He saw your vid where you ate the Quran and he came out denouncing it. He says that's not how you engage in apologetics. Well, I would agree that's not how you engage in apologetics, but that had nothing to do with apologetics, right? Just to explain, Legendary Ostrich, if Osama bin Laden were coming to blow up an orphanage and you shot him, it wouldn't make a lot of sense to say, well, you shot Osama bin Laden. That's not good apologetics. You're not doing apologetics there. It's a mistake to think that the only possible interaction you can have with anyone is apologetics or evangelism. Which one is it? Is it apologetics or evangelism? Those are the only two interactions you can possibly have. That's false. Sometimes you have people who are crossing lines and someone needs to stop them, right? Someone needs to stop them because, everyone understands this if it's a terrorist or something like that. What if it's someone who says, hey, I have massive popularity. I'm influencing the next generation. And you know what I'm going to influence them to do? I'm going to influence them to harass women with threats of rape and torture. And I'm teaching a generation to do that. Does there ever come a point for the Christian to say, actually, no, I'm not going to let you do that. I'm going to stop you because your book gives me a way of stopping you, of making you stop. And keep in mind, Hijab already did stop. He immediately stopped. As soon as we went, I'm going to eat the Quran, he stopped. Started doing other things, whining, coming after us, but he stopped going after women, right? Why? He understands he's required to. But he doesn't want to take down the tweets because that's going to be too much of a hit to his pride. And so I'm going to make him. And guess what? If Christians want to say, no, you mustn't do that, what I'm hearing is, no, if people are heaping abuse on your wife, on women, and they're starting a campaign of abuse, especially given the history of this religion and its impact on women in the Muslim world, and the grooming gangs, the rape gangs, all of this stuff, if you know the impact and how this religion views women and the impact it has on women, once they start deciding, you know what we need more abuse of women. If your response is, well, no, as a Christian, we can't put a stop to that. Well, let's just say I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one. What are your thoughts, AP?
Well, I won't be able to speak about, who am I to speak about a matter of Christian apologetics? But I would say it's quite obvious that your reaction to what Mohammed Hijab is doing is more a personal response because it has gotten to a personal level than it is a response on a level of interfaith, politics or apologetics or whatever you want to call it. So I don't think one has anything to do with the other. If this guy, as you said, comes with such dirty tactics, such dirty strategies against you and others personally, then there must be a way to personally counter that and make him stop. And we're doing the least that we could do. I don't want to sound like Adnan Rashid now, who says the least you can do is to report people. Who knows what is the worst thing? But yeah, this is the least that we can do. It we're really doing the least. This is nothing. This is a language that they understand, and it is personal. It is very much personal. And I don't know, to those opinions of people who think you cannot change the minds of Muslims by being provocative, I would really ask them to have a conversation with me about that.
Yeah. And so here's what I don't get. You know, I don't run around telling other people, hey, here's how you need to do things, right? I understand there are different kinds of people and there are different methods for different, different things going on in the world. What I don't get is, I do understand why someone would say, well, I don't want to take a bite out of that Quran. But if someone says, hey, here's what they're about to start, and the only real way of dealing with this is to do something that strikes at their religion, because that's what the Quran commands them. There's one scenario where the Quran will command them to stop. That's Surah 6, verse 108. But you have to blast away at their religion with something that is very degrading and insulting to it. And that will actually force them to stop. Do you do it? I understand someone saying no, and I don't believe most people should. I believe I should, because I'm the sort of person who's kind of made for that. And you know what I would think, and I think this is how lots of Christians are. I think lots of Christians are, gosh, I would never do that, but I'm glad there's someone to do that. I think lots of Christians understand. I think lots of Christians understand. Sometimes it's good to have a psycho on your side to deal with certain people. That sounds like a catchphrase right there, man. Sometimes it's good to have a psycho on your side.
You should end your videos with that from now on. By the way, someone pointed out and said James White called Yasser Qadhi his friend and invited him to his church or something like that. I don't know if that is supposed to be critical, and I don't know if that's supposed to be a criticism of his Christian attitude, but I would say on a personal attitude, on an interpersonal perspective, I wouldn't think that there's anything wrong with necessarily with doing that alone, with calling someone a friend, no matter if you think that his beliefs are very, not proper.
So basically, a few years ago, James White had this scenario where if he gets to go, I think the scenario was he gets to question Yasser Qadhi in a church, and Yasser Qadhi will get to question him in a mosque. And so people were pointing out that, wait a minute, you just let Yasser Qadhi spout a bunch of complete nonsense about Islam in a church that was misleading tons of people, and there's no response from you. And the response is, yeah, but then I get to go and preach the gospel in a mosque. And notice, ladies and gentlemen, there were lots of people who criticized this, and the criticism was that Muslims are kind of pretty inoculated to it, in that no matter how clearly you're explaining it, they're not getting it. Whereas your Christian audience, a lot of them don't know what to believe about Islam being violent or something like that. And so when they're getting answers from Yasser Qadhi, oh, cool. Well, this has the stamp of approval. So that's kind of the criticism. Notice, guys, I didn't come out and criticize it. I didn't condemn that. I didn't freak out about that. Why? Well, I don't know. Maybe you have some different goals from what I have, and maybe there's an important place for that. So I didn't say much about that. But gosh, how much time do the James Whites of this world spend blasting away at everyone else? Everyone's doing it wrong. Everyone's doing it wrong. Everyone should do it like me. Anyway.
Yeah.
Pretty dope.
Okay, awesome.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I really, people are pointing it out. I was waiting for my most popular video, which is the truth about the Kaaba, which I made like almost 2 years ago, for that to reach 1 million views, and it is currently at 963,000 views. And
that's gotta hurt.
Awesome. I thought, awesome. This is going to be my most watched video. It's actually pretty good. And now see what is happening. I'm ripping apart the Quran, and that video has currently 950,000 views, and that is going to be the first video to reach 1 million views, and it's also going to be my most watched video. I made so many videos that I carefully wrote and carefully recorded and produced for so much time carefully crafted and put together and thought, okay, this is going to be good. And I really wanted those to be watched and to spread, and I wanted people to be informed by that. And here I rip apart the Quran, and this is going to be the most watched video within 5 days.
and that is, I agree, that is hilarious. I mean, who'd have thunk it? We spend years carefully crafting arguments, putting together videos. Sometimes the videos take days, weeks, months even. I had videos that I spent years on, not that I spent entire years working on them, but that I, you know, I don't think I've gotten this right yet. And so I just, you know, keep tweaking the argument and so on for years even, doing that. And as it turns out, all you had to do was start ripping up the Quran. That's how you get views. I mean, it was so, why were we putting all of this brain power into this when all we had to do, and oh, yeah, you guys see this? Brand new, still in the plastic, Why? Well,
yeah.
Sometimes you need some new ones.
So right now it is the time to please go and watch my video, The Truth About the Kaaba, and make sure that that video reaches 1 million views, and that video is the most watched video, not the Quran ripping video, because that's not how it was supposed to happen. Yeah. Although I have to say, as a professional attention seeker who also, you know, who wants to just attract attention by speaking against Islam, although
and get rich,
although I know that Islam is the truth, which is why I'm also scared.
Deep down, you know it, but you sold it for a small price.
Yeah, for a small price. It satisfies me that I also that I suddenly get this attention by making a little stunt, and that this goes viral, although it's not monetized. Stupid me. The video is not monetized, but it's getting 1 million views in 5 days. As a professional attention seeker, I'm really enjoying the attention, because the attention means business, which means thrill, which means business, which means attention, which means business and thrill, which means attention and thrill and business, which I, as an Islamophobe who makes a whole career and who has nothing better in his life to do than to be an Islamophobe.
Pretty
I enjoy that. It's pretty good.
It's the most pathetic thing I've ever seen.
It is, but there's just nothing I can do. You know, I don't have any better qualities. I'm not creative. I'm not
loser.
Good. I'm not good at anything else. I don't have muscles. I don't have big muscles. I can't intimidate people. Look, I can't intimidate anybody. I cannot do anything else. I cannot do anything good with my life. And this
you strong.
You know, I'm not strong.
You know strong than me.
I'm your teacher boy.
Me strong than you.
Yeah, I snorted. Okay, I guess that's it.
All right, everyone. I guess we'll be having some videos coming out soon. Not sure when I'll be live again, although I am planning to go live with Harris Sultan here pretty soon, and then Bob.
Harris Sultan.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yep. We've got some stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
And,
I just don't like it when other ex-Muslims beside me get attention.
Yeah, I know you like all the attention yourself, and you think he's gonna take all your money that you're getting.
Yeah. It diverts the attention from me, and I just can't handle it on a personal basis. I don't tell them that. I don't go and tell those other ex-Muslims, for example, Abdullah Samir. I hate the fact that his videos are being watched while my videos are around. But I want to tell him that, but I don't want to make it public. But yeah, I said it here.
All right, everyone. Thanks.
By the way, Abdullah Samir has very great videos. Okay.
Thanks everyone for watching, and we will catch you next time. Hopefully. I mean, I can't actually. I mean, on the one hand, I think hopefully Hijab just takes his tweets down, so we don't have to continue. We can get back to doing things we would rather be doing. But I don't know if he wants to keep on, supporting us and supporting our work and helping us get funding through his tantrums, then he can do that too. So it's basically as weird as Hijab is, we've got a lot that we've placed in his hands as far as he's deciding what we're going to be doing here in the near future as far as our content. What are you laughing at? What'd you see?
Who is this? Is this person watching the live stream right now? I don't want to give away the name because it does. He didn't say anything about the Can you see this? Wait. Can you see this?
What? Yeah.
What are you doing?
What's wrong with you? Hey,
I just got this out of nowhere by a fan.
I'm getting requests for a video about Dawood Kim. You posted on that, didn't you?
Yeah, I posted about him recently. I made a video about whether he understands Islam or not, and
Wow.
yeah, I made that. But immediately after I did that, Dawood Kim came out as having sexually assaulted a woman. And
it sucks because my this screen is on a delay, so I see the picture of Mohammed Hijab, and it's funny, and then but you're talking about sexual assault, and so I shouldn't be smiling, but there was the picture of Hijab there, and so it looks like I'm being such a jerk. What's he doing smiling when AP's talking about sexual assault? What's wrong with him? Yeah, I was looking at the picture of Hijab in a hijab. Wow.
Man. But yeah, the Dawood Kim situation is that I made a video about him, about how, because people have been asking me a lot about, like, who is this guy who is converted to Islam? And I looked a little bit into it, and I made a video called, Does Dawood Kim Understand Islam? I just pointed out how, when people leave Islam and talk about why they left Islam, we always get these accusations of, like, you didn't understand Islam, you were never a real Muslim to begin with, and all that stuff. But I looked at Dawood Kim, for example, and the guy has no clue about basic Islamic knowledge. And it looks like his conversion basically resulted from him becoming popular among Muslim girls that he hung out with, and he continued to hang out with them. And I didn't say much about him. I just kind of talked about how he doesn't seem to know much about Islam, and he kind of seems to think that Islam has these Christian sentiments of, like, God is with you and God loves you and all that stuff. But it coincided with me making a video about him. Just in the same week, a victim who was apparently sexually assaulted by Dawood Kim a year ago or so made this sexual assault allegation public, and then Dawood Kim made a video about it in which he admitted to having done that. And today, I think he deleted all his videos on his YouTube channel, and he publicly admitted that he did continue to drink alcohol and go to clubs and hang out with girls after he converted to Islam and stuff like that. I'm not entirely sure if he really said that, but I think that's what he said. I briefly looked at the video, so there's lots of stuff going on right now.
Yeah, that's I don't know if you saw, but Adam Saleh, so he got in trouble on TikTok. And really, I'm not interested in this stuff, but people keep sending me stuff, right? People keep sending me stuff. Hey, will you comment on this? And it's I'm not going to make a video out of it.
Yeah.
But Adam Saleh, so he got in trouble for kissing a girl on TikTok. And then he has this, intervention where Ali Dawah intervenes, and then he comes back to, calling for the deaths of apostates and stuff, and becomes really orthodox. Well, someone sent me a video clip from the girl who said basically it's all, the intervention's kind of all staged as part of his plan because he doesn't want to lose his he doesn't want to lose his Muslim following. So once he realized he was in trouble over that, then it has to be this repentance thing where he's brought back and then everyone's all happy again and he doesn't lose his millions of followers. So that's what she said.
Yeah, I saw that person even came out in support of me against them, and that was very strange because I think they're Muslims. I don't know, but something happened there, and they're basically accusing Adam Saleh of just making a public stunt, a show right now to appease his Muslim followers, and that he actually is annoyed by the fact that his Muslim followers are complaining about everything that he does. Yep. And I don't know, weird drama. But I want to say one thing quickly. Somebody said, super chat, Apostate Prophet, please make a video clearing your stance. This was said by a gentleman. Said, please make a video clearing your stance on incest. There is a mass misinformation about you on that.
Hey, why don't we actually have a conversation on that? Not right now. We can actually, because It's interesting, guys. When I was an atheist, I believe that all talk of morality and so on was just complete nonsense for weak-minded people and so on. So you can basically come to all sorts of positions, right? There are all sorts of views that you could take in terms of, you know, what you say is right and wrong, in terms of what justification you present for saying that something is right and wrong, and you know, there are issues of, one, how do you know that something is right or wrong, and two, then how do you kind of justify that? What's the basis for this sort of thing being right and wrong? And yeah, you might want to have a discussion on that at some point, because that's what what they're using to blast you.
Yeah, they're taking something out of context that I did like 2 years ago. I had a conversation with Armin Navabi on my channel with him, and we were talking about.
You promoted incest on there.
Stop it!
It's pretty disgusting.
No, we were talking about laws on cousin marriages, and he brought up incest laws in America, and we were talking about that, about the specific situation, and he was talking about how you know, whether we can logically justify banning a consensual relationship between two individuals who are above a certain age and who cannot reproduce. First, we were talking about cousins and so on. So we went into this discussion, and we were going through things, and one of the premises was that we cannot logically explain why one case alone, which is that two you know, individuals who cannot procreate have you know, sexual intercourse, for example, that they unite in a way. That was what this discussion was about. But the conclusion was not that it is okay or good, or that incest should therefore be allowed, or that there is nothing wrong with incest. So they completely, you know, removed the context, took a little clip out of this, posted it. Even Mohammed Hijab used this and posted it on his channel, and they make it look like I am somebody who approves of incestuous relationships and even promotes them. When even in the clip, all I'm saying is there is nothing wrong with that, about that one situation, which even does not mean that I think there is nothing wrong with that specific situation. And so they completely took it out of context. Of course, I would sit down and clarify that now, but I keep thinking to myself, do I really want to give in and talk about that stuff? That was a casual conversation. I don't even think that way about this situation anymore, because much has developed. My whole outlook on morality has changed since then. But do I really want to, you know, take the bait and really talk about that stuff right now? But some people ask me that I should maybe clarify that, because they keep using this. But I know that even if I sit down and clarify the situation, even if I make my stance clear, they will just use this to renew their stupid accusations. They won't listen to my clarification at all. I know that. So, you know. Well,
you heard it here, folks. The Apostate Prophet promotes incest.
I have my moral perspective is very much it goes close to a utilitarian world, following the harm principle, and I could talk about this endlessly. If we want to go into that, we would have a long conversation.
We shall be having some discussions on morality here
in
the near future. All right, I believe we've been going for 2.5 hours now.
But hey, very clearly, to everybody who has a question about this and who wants a very quick answer, no, I don't think incest is okay at all. And I don't think it should be allowed.
That's exactly what we would expect someone who secretly supports incest to say.
See, that would their response actually be.
We've got him! We've got him! Now we can ignore all of his refutations of Islam, because we can attack him for this! Ha ha! Me strong!
Yeah.
Wow, what an ideology, man.
you have overlooked all those things that I've talked about, and you come after some personal thing that is completely unrelated that you think I have said somewhere in some random conversation 2 years ago. This is how their debate form works.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got videos coming up. Not sure when I'll be live again, but should be here pretty soon. Catch you all next time, and I'm sure we'll be talking a little bit about Mohammed Hijab, a little bit about Ali Dawah, a little bit of this. Gonna have a little bit of this. becoming a lot of this until Mohammed Hijab decides to be a good Muslim and take down some tweets. We'll see what happens.
We never know what will happen in the meantime. They always surprise us.
But we know he's going to support our ministries. He's going to support our work and our channels. And for that, Mohammed Hijab, we thank you.
Okay.
And salute you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And stay away from Islam.